Woo, woo, woo. How is everyone doing on this wonderful day? I had some internet problems for a second right before I hit live, but I think we're doing good now. I unfortunately have to use Spectrum internet, so okay, we are getting our stream going. Okay. Activate selected. Okay, I have all the chats active. They should all be working. How you guys doing today, by the way? I'm having a grand old time myself. The shorts feed looks weird right now, but I promise. There we go. I'll fix that. Let me know if the music is too loud. I'm trusting a YouTube video that said it was copyright-free music, and I've done that in the past, and usually it always ends up being copyrighted, which affects my revenue on the video. But honestly, this is more for you guys anyway. I don't even make much money, even if it gets a lot of views anyway, so I don't really care ultimately. Having some nice fantasy tavern music is a little more important to me than the ad revenue. So just let me know if it's too loud or too quiet or whatever. Oh, but yeah, guys, oh man, so I wanted to go over this document a bit earlier. If you guys just clicked on the video, we're doing the Unearthed Arcana 2025 for the Arcane subclasses that was released. I believe it was on Thursday, yeah, because I was originally gonna do it right before I played D&D on Thursday nights. I was gonna go over it right before I went to D&D, but I had a long day at work that day, and I was like, nah. And then I was gonna do it yesterday, and then I was just like tired. But then this morning, I had a nice cup of coffee. I ate a nice avocado toast that I made myself. I had some, good night's sleep last night. I don't work today. The wife is out of town. And I decided, instead of having a tired reading of it, where I only had limited time, I wanted to do a deep dive of the document rather. And so that's what we're doing today. Okay, I'm just making sure we are all live and going. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to go over the arcane subclasses. And also, if you guys don't know, I make my own homebrew subclasses. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you my about to be released Oath of Radiance Paladin subclass. And just so you know, I also make character build videos. So yeah, I make character build videos. I just talk about D&D in general, commentary like this, and then I also have my own homebrew subclasses. I'm going to be releasing a Patreon soon. I just want to have enough content on there first before I release it, so that there's like a few subclasses already on the Patreon that you'll all get access to all of them. Wow, this is live, you can tell. You'll get access to all of them if you subscribe to the Patreon, or you can pay individually for each one. But yo, D&D streamer, how you doing, Derp Lord Memming Star? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we are gonna do a deep dive. I'm gonna even because some of these have been in the Unearthed Arcana already, I'm gonna go over the changes they made, because I remember most of them, but I don't remember all of them. So I wanted to make sure I figure it all out, that we can really get a good picture of the changes made. And yeah, let's go ahead and go to the screen with the document. Might as well. Yeah, how you doing? Memeing Star. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's only one M, but I guess that was taken, unfortunately. So sad. Yeah, welcome. You shorts feed people already saw the document, but these non-shorts feed people, this is the first time they're seeing it on the screen. One thing, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the old Unearthed Arcanas just so that we have them, because I know we need it for the... I've been homebrew DM for 5 years, so it's nice to see what seems to be longer time DMs. Oh yeah! No, for sure. So I've how to say this? I've spent most of my time in D&D as a player, but I have also DM'd. Currently, right now, this is the most D&D I've had in my life for a while. I'm a player in 2 campaigns with the exact same group, but we kind of switch between DMs. And what we do is we do part of a campaign for like a month, and then we go back to the other campaign and do that for a month. But then I also currently am DMing a group of new players, and these players have never played except with the 2024 rules, and it's really interesting to see that experience for them. So yeah, I DM and play. So the subclasses that have already been in, we have the Arcana Domain Cleric and the Hexblade. I know the Hexblade was in the horror subclasses. I think the Arcana was in the Forgotten Realms. Let's double check. Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for the $2, man. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That's the first time I've gotten a donation on YouTube. I appreciate it. Oh my. Okay, so actually, you know what? I'm gonna be going over my Oath of Radiance Paladin here later. But also, if you're curious, on my page I already have a free like on my YouTube channel, there's a video called the Gravity Warden Ranger. I have a free PDF available down there if you're interested of that subclass. And then I also, last month, I guess the beginning of this month, I released the Archhag Patron Warlock. And there's a video going over that on my page as well, if you want to check that out. And then, yeah, good to make someone smile for once in my life outside. Yeah, no, dude, I appreciate it. Thank you. This is a great way to start the stream. And I'm not seeing the Arcana Domain Cleric. Okay, so there's the Knowledge Domain. Did we not see the Arcane Domain yet? Maybe I'm thinking that it's the Knowledge Domain. Oh, you know what? We saw the Knowledge Domain, but not the Arcana Domain. That's what I'm getting confused by. Okay. So, why are those different? That's so funny. Did they rename it? No, well, I'm just Arcana Domain versus Knowledge Domain. Those are okay. No, those are two different. Never mind. We haven't seen the Arcana Domain in a UA yet, so we're only redoing the Hexblade. Okay, that was something I misremembered. But let's go ahead and go over the Arcana Domain with that all being said. Okay, first let's read what's inside. So what's inside? This document presents 9 subclasses. Revised subclasses for the Cleric Arcana Domain, Fighter, Arcane Archer, Warlock, Hexblade Patron, and Wizard, Conjurer, Enchanter, Necromancer, and Transmuter. Oh, Derp Lord Memeing Star, welcome to Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I stream on Twitch and YouTube. I used to be a more active Twitch streamer, but then I kind of started to have a little more success on YouTube, so I switched to mostly posting videos on YouTube. But then I do Twitch streams every once in a while, and it's fun. Twitch is also just a little better environment for content in general. And then we have the new subclasses, the Tattooed Warrior Monk and the Ancestral Sorcery Sorcerer. Oh, thank you so much, Derp Lord Beaming Star. So, that being said, I have not deep dived this at all by myself. I've skimmed it, and I have some initial thoughts just by skimming it. First of all, I'll start with my general feelings from skimming it. The Arcana Domain Cleric seems really good. The fighter Arcane Archer, I think it's definitely improved from the original Arcane Archer, but it's not like amazing yet. I think it's fine though. And again, this is just by skimming. The Hexblade Warlock, they definitely made it better than the one in the horror subclasses playtest. And I think I think it's pretty good based on skimming. The wizard subclasses. So I will preface this with my general opinion on wizard subclasses. So first of all, I generally feel like wizard subclasses in the 2014 rules were kind of lackluster. And what I mean by that, I'm not necessarily talking about power. I'm more talking about just like everything, like thematics. Basically, I feel like wizard subclasses in the 2014 rules were very lacking. And I feel like the reason for that is the base wizard class is very strong. So they didn't want to make the subclasses too crazy. But because of that, it made the whole wizard class, in my opinion, feel kind of bland. But wizard is a lot of players' favorite class, so it's honestly kind of a what's the phrase? It's kind of my hot take. Is I felt like the wizard was kind of boring in the 2014 rules, and with the revised version of the wizard and the wizard subclasses that were already released in the player's handbook. Oh, you're welcome back, no worries. I feel like the 2024 wizard subclasses have a bit more stuff to them, and it makes it a bit more fun and interesting to me. That being said, though, I did skim the Conjurer, and I was disappointed because when I think of a Conjurer, I think more of a summoner, and I know that teleportation magic is conjuration magic, but they made another teleporting subclass, and I feel like the amount of teleporting subclasses we're getting is becoming a bit much. And I want a summoner. I want a wizard summoner. I want the ultimate summoner. Also, it doesn't have a summon spell that it can cast without concentration, and it's supposed to be the best conjurer. And I feel like it's weird that sorcerer, even ranger subclasses get the ability to have a summon without concentration, but the literal conjurer wizard doesn't. So yeah. The Enchanter, I didn't really read too deeply into it. Same with the Necromancer or the Transmuter. So we'll get to deep dive into those, and we get to make our own opinions, on that as we read it together. The Tattooed Monk Warrior, again, this is another one I just skimmed. It seems very all over the place, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It reminds me a lot of the Totem Warrior, now Wildheart Barbarian, with its being able to choose a bunch of different abilities. And then we have the Ancestral Sorcery Sorcerer. It feels to me like it's kind of confusing, but powerful. I do not want a summoner at all. I banned summon spells at my table because action economy is bad enough when some characters have multiple reactions and bonus actions. Dude, I totally understand that. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like summoners can be a little overpowered, but I feel like because of the 2024 rules, where they got rid of all the conjure spells, well, technically they changed them, I feel like it's a bit better now and a bit less all over the place, because you now can either have, you know, the conjure spells that are basically AoE effects, whereas the summon spells are now you summon one creature. So I feel like it's a bit more balanced now, but it is still pretty strong. So I get that though. We have a lot of homebrew in my D&D game too. But in the multiple ones I play in. That being said, let's actually go over them now. So we have the Arcana Domain Cleric. How about this? Since we don't have a UA like I thought we would with the Arcana Domain Cleric, I'm just gonna look at the 2014 Arcana Domain and compare as we go. Oh, it's a Swords Coast Adventures Guide one. Okay. Wait, what? I clicked Arcana Domain and it took me to 2014. I mean, it took me to 2024. Okay, I have to do it step by... Oh, I guess I technically don't own the Sword Coast Adventures Guide. But I bought all the subclasses back when they had the options to buy just things. Oh my gosh. Are we going to be able to find this, guys? I could find it on the character builder, I know that. Sword Coast Adventures Guide. Okay, I have it, kind of. Clerics. Hey, we got it, we got to it. Okay, I formatted the screen to make it so you could read the document well, but I did not format it to read D&D Beyond well. But that's okay. We'll figure it out, guys. I will maybe I'll do I have an idea. I'm going to this is what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna zoom in and then I'm gonna make this bigger so that we can get a good view of everything. Oh. By the way, every single time I stream, it makes the oh shit, I switched the scene. It makes the fucking messages disappear quicker than I want them to, and it's so annoying. Okay. Let's do this. We're gonna make this all work well. Gonna be amazed. Okay, that seems a little better. Potentially. Let's do this. Okay, I just want to be able to see the Arcana Domain. I promise this is going to be better. Just take a second. What's great is people watching this later will be able to just skim past all this. Okay. Wow, this is so much bigger. Okay. I could just show the full screen, but what's the fun in that, guys? Okay. I feel like that's good. So, yeah, we have this. Oh my god, guys. Huh. Bit to page? No. Whoa! Okay. I should have thought. I guess you can see everything, technically, but not on shorts. Shit. We're gonna get this. Okay, I think I finally got it for the most part. Again, when we get back to Arcana Domain, I won't have to show this. I guess this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, so you guys can see Arcana Domain on D&D Beyond, and you can see this. Okay, it's kind of small though. Okay, so Arcana Domain, blend conviction with arcane power. Magic suffuses the multiverse and fuels both destruction and creation. Clerics with this domain view magical knowledge not as power to be used in pursuit of personal ends, but as a gift they have the responsibility to share. Gods associated... Sorry, I was checking something. With the Arcana Domain, know the secrets and potential of magic intimately. These gods are often connected to knowledge, as learning and arcane power tend to go hand in hand, or to secrecy or power. Here are the main updates. Spells have been revised. Expertise in Arcana, a new feature that replaces Arcane Abjuration. Formerly Dispelling Recovery, formerly named Spellbreaker, now uses Dispel Magic and also triggers when you remove a condition from a creature. Arcane Master now lets you change the wizard spells you choose. Okay. So Arcana Domain spells, we have Detect Magic, Magic Missile, Magic Weapon, Nistil's Magic Aura. We have Counterspell, Dispel Magic, Arcane Eye, Leomund's Secret Chest, Bigby's Hand, and Teleportation Circle. I feel like those are pretty good, especially I like the addition of Magic Weapon, because even though clerics aren't technically a melee class, they do have the ability to become proficient in melee weapons, or you can cast it on your friend's weapon, so that's nice. Tech Magic, Magic Missile makes perfect sense. Nistil's Magic Aura is a little fun one. Do clerics usually get access to Counterspell? I don't even know. I'm gonna look up Counterspell. I thought they did, but maybe I'm thinking of Dispel Magic, which I know that clerics do get. No, clerics don't normally get Counterspell, so that's a good pickup. Counterspell is different in the 2014 rules, so there is that, but like, you know, 2024, sorry. Dispel Magic, Arcane Eye, yeah, Arcane Eye's pretty good, especially at 7th level. Leomund's Secret Chest, Bigby's Hand is good. Yeah. Okay. And then what was the old spell list? Detect Magic, Magic Missile. Magic Weapon wasn't as good back then though. It doesn't require concentration anymore. Just okay, so they didn't get Counterspell originally. Instead they got Magic Circle. And then I refuse to use 24 rules past adding stuff to my 2014 rule games. I totally get that, man. Actually, we're in a 20th level campaign with the 2014 rules still. And we were having a whole discussion about Simulacrum in the 2014 rules. And if you're ever having a discussion in the 2014 rules with Simulacrum, just use the 2024 version. It's a lot more clear and is actually nerfed a little bit. Okay, so we got, what is it? So, okay, they used to have Planar Binding, now they have Bigby's Hand. Definitely a bit more useful of a spell. But, so they only switched 2 spells, but the spells they switched are real nice. And then, normally you just got Proficiency in Arcana, and you gain 2 cantrips from the wizard list. But now, you gain Proficiency in Arcana skill if you don't already have it. You also gain Expertise in Arcana. And then, yeah, you get 2 wizard cantrips. Level 3, Modify Magic. You can use your Channel Divinity to alter the spells as you cast them. I got all this knowledge about these rules in 5 years and then they decide, screw you, chuckle fuck, memorize these weaker rules. Yeah, no, totally, I get that. Yeah, so you can cast, when you cast a spell, you can expend one use of your channel ability to change the spell in one of the following ways. No action required. One target of the spell gains a number of temporary hit points equal to 2d8 plus your cleric level. So that's pretty nice. A little this could be a buff spell like Bless. You can only pick one of the targets though. This could be Healing Word. This could be Cure Wounds. This could be any little buff spell. This could even be, let me see if there's any from, I guess technically Nistel's Magic Aura. Anyway, then we got Tenacious Spell. When you cast a spell that forces a creature to make a saving throw, choose one target of the spell you can see, roll 1d6, and apply the number rolled as a penalty to the target saving throw. That is real nice. Nice little 1d6. It does use your Channel Divinity though, but the new Cleric, if I'm remembering correctly, does have more Channel Divinities. I think you start with 2. I know the Paladin starts with 2 now. If the gods had wanted me to ignore the 2024 rules entirely, then they wouldn't have buff True Strike. Yeah, True Strike is real nice. So, yeah, the new True Strike, I really like it. You start with 2 Channel Divinity. Oh no, 2 such effects. Okay, there's probably like a, where is it? Yeah, features table. So you start with, at 3rd level 2, you get 3 at level 6, and you get 4 at level 18. So you're gonna have 3 through probably the majority of the game. 3 abilities to use these is pretty nice. Level 6, Dispelling Recovery. I remember skimming this and being confused by this one, so we're gonna have to dissect this one a bit. Immediately after you cast a spell with a spell slot that restores hit points to a creature or ends a condition on a creature, you can cast Dispel Magic on the creature as a bonus action without expending a spell slot. You can use this feature a number of times equals to your Wisdom modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So you can use like Lesser Restoration or a healing spell and then cast Dispel Magic on the creature. I want to read Dispel Magic real quick though to make sure this isn't weird. Well, honestly, Old True Strike had a use with the rogues to give advantage in situations where a creature ignored advantage caused by a creature being hidden. Oh yeah, also what you could do with a rogue. Well, yeah, there's a lot of, it was useful, but it was definitely very niche. You could also like, I actually was going to say something that I now realize is not correct. But yeah, it had its uses for sure. Dispel Magic. Okay, so we got Dispel Magic. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any ongoing spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each ongoing spell of level 4 or higher on the target, make an ability check using the spellcasting ability. You automatically end a spell on the target. The spell's level. Okay. So, yeah, this is a problem with this. So, I was thinking maybe they changed the 2024 Dispel Magic to mean that you could pick what ability is dispelled, and that is not the case. So choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any ongoing spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each ongoing spell of level 4 or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcast ability modifier, DC 10. So yeah, honestly, in my games, I made it a bonus action and made your weapon considered magical for that strike. Also, it didn't require. Oh, okay, yeah. Then that's not that as big of a deal. That would make it real nice. Then that's freaking awesome, actually. So with this is the problem. Is again, you can choose to do it, and you can only do it minimum wisdom modifier times per long rest. But basically, let's say you have a buff spell on your target then let's say you're concentrating on bless, and then you heal your target, your ally that got like some sort of negative effect spell on them, like let's say you bless them, but then they ended up being in a slow spell. They failed their save on slow, so you're trying to dispel slow on them. Well, if you cast this, it's going to dispel slow and bless on them. Yeah, exactly. So, and you're a cleric, so like you're gonna buff people. So like that's kind of like, that's a common thing you're gonna be in. So I feel like what they would have to do to make this fun and worth it is they would have to change how dispel magic works. And you could do, like, they've already, like, 2024 they really like doing that. So I feel like you could say, like, immediately after you cast a spell with a spell slot that requires hit points, that restores hit points to a creature or ends a condition on a creature, you can cast Dispel Magic on a creature as a bonus action without expending a spell slot. When you cast Dispel Magic in this way, you can choose to only dispel certain abilities or something, you know? Chuckles at War Domain, yeah. I feel like that would work pretty well. Also, I'm gonna... Oh, I have this little app thing that I'm supposed to get. Basically, I'm supposed to be able to see your guys' chats way longer, and they keep going away. Agreed. Yeah. I feel like that would be... So I'm gonna add like a bunch of milliseconds. Will that make the messages last longer? Like, just leave them up forever, basically. Or can I just take away auto hide? We don't even need to hide them. Keep the messages up at all times. That would be amazing. Just never go away, messages. Just stay. Okay. Honestly, I've never stuck to the subclass system nearly as strict. No, I understand that for sure. There's a lot of cool things you can do with especially if you know your group well. Like, for example, my group doesn't have a lot of power gamers, so we have a lot of like fun, like homebrew, like I homebrew a lot. That's awesome. Like we do the Perkins crit, but more. So let's say you roll, you're attacking with a greatsword, and you get a crit. You roll 4d6. Then the two lowest rolls you automatically make 6s, and then that's your roll. So the lowest rolls become max damage, and yeah, so that's a fun little crit rule we use. Okay, you learn. Okay, so yeah, they need to fix this. I feel like that is pretty easy. And I don't think even that is too strong if you specifically make it so they can choose what they want to dispel. I tons of shit made like we all power game, but I make sure the enemies are just as powerful. Homebrew both ways. Yeah, my DM, so I power game a bit, and only one other player in our group power games. And that sounds like, oh wow, 2 players are power gaming. But the thing is, like, we have a party of 6. So what I've noticed the DM do is he gives the non-power gamers just like cool shit that's homebrewed. Like he adds abilities to their like he adds things that isn't part of their subclass or class or a magic item, and he's just like, yeah, you can do this thing. And so they end up kind of being a little stronger than the power gamers, but they don't know how to utilize it fully. So it ends up being balanced, if that makes sense. Okay, you learn 4 wizard spells. This is level 17, Arcane Mastery. You learn 4 wizard spells, 1 from each of level 6, 7, 8, and 9, like spells. You thereafter always have those spells prepared. Whenever you gain cleric level, you can replace one of these spells with another wizard spell of the same level. That's really good. Wizards have access to a lot of spells that Clerics do not. Basically, I feel like you almost have a bard thing going on where you basically have access to almost all spells at that point. So that's pretty sweet. Let's check. We didn't check the level 6 ability for the 2014 Arcana Cleric, so let's check that out. Oh, actually, we didn't check a lot of things. Wait, what? Oh yeah, they just have a completely different channel divinity. As an action, you present your holy symbol and one celestial elemental, fey, or fiend of your choice that is within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. I do that, but with everyone, and yeah, they have no fucking clue how to use most of it. I made my friend a little death goddess, and she kept. Shit, the message went away. Why the fuck does messages keep going? Just like a million seconds. I can look at it manually. Ahaha! She kept getting discorporate. She was dying anyway, even though she was a death goddess. I see what you're saying. Okay. So yeah, this arcane abjuration seems really lame. You basically get to fear more than just a than just undead. You can fear other things. Or it's actually, yeah, so yeah, you basically you get to use your regular turn undead but on other creature types. After you reach 5th level, when a creature fails its saving throw against your arcane abjuration feature, the creature is banished for 1 minute. That's pretty cool though. So you used to be able to banish celestial, elemental, fey, or fiends at level 5. Oh, but it has to be at or below a certain threshold. Oh, so you can only banish low CR. Holy shit. Half CR? Half CR celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend? What are you going to be fight? At level 17, it's only CR4 or lower? Okay, that's actually really lame. I gave her everything, including the ability to break the 4th wall. I also gave her a straight up Glock. She kept dying. Oh my god. That's so fun though. When you restore hit points to an ally with a 1st level spell or higher, you can also end one spell of your choice on that creature. The level of the spell must end. The level of the spell you end must be equal or lower than the level of the spell slot you use to cast the healing spell. Okay, that makes more sense. See, this is the problem. This is a problem I've noticed with 2024, and I've heard people made. I even noticed some memes about it recently. So they make everything spells that you can cast differently rather than unique abilities. So this makes more sense because it does dispel magic in the way that makes sense, where you can end one spell of your choice on that creature. But because they, in 2024, they want to make everything just using a spell differently, the old version's actually better. And it's a death goddess with a 9mm Glock in a fantasy setting where no one besides her knows what the hell it is. She doesn't know how to work the safety. Oh, that's so funny by player's request. That's what's up. Starting at 8th level, you add your wisdom modifier to the damage you deal with any cleric cantrip. Oh, you know what? I just realized I can close this and then open the new one. And then this chat should work the way I said it should. Okay. So, yeah, they kind of messed up with that. Potent spellcasting. Yeah, that's in the base class feature now. Arcane Mastery. Okay, so the old version... So basically, Arcane Mastery, now you can replace the spells when you want to. But the original one, you couldn't do that. So yeah, they need to fix Dispelling Recovery, but after that, I'm pretty happy with this Cleric. Cleric base class is very strong anyway, so it ends up being pretty good. This puts the Knowledge Domain in a weird spot though. The Knowledge Domain is basically the Arcana Domain, but like slightly different thematically. I don't really understand why there's both of those. I remember reading the Knowledge Domain and not liking it very much in the UA. I could go over that later if you want to, but let's go to the next one. And the next one is the Arcane Archer, right? Yep. So let's pull up the Arcane Archer. I'm pretty sure that was in Xanathar's guide. So let's, yep, Xanathar's guide to everything. Agreed. Wait. What if they got a dispel ability that gives the cleric a lower level spell slot, kind of like draining the magic? Ooh, that would be really cool. Actually, Derp Lord Memeing Star, I think you'll like my homebrew paladin subclass that I've been working on, Oath of Radiance. I have a mechanic where when they cast a first level spell, they roll a d6, kind of like a recharge of like a breath weapon. And if they roll a 5 or a 6, they get the spell slot back. And that's super fun. I added that because the Oath of Radiance Paladin for me is supposed to be the healer paladin, but also the radiant damage paladin. And I wanted the player to feel more like not to worry about spell conservation as much. Oh, you got an ad? Rip. No worries. Okay, well, look at this Xanathar's guide formatting. Arrows are the worst. They got much farther. They go much farther than eye rays. That's why I stay indoors all the time. Besides, the sky is totally overrated. This is like Xanathar the Beholder talking about it. Oh, it was so fun back then. Okay. So what I remember about the old Arcane Archer is you only got 2 arcane shots and it never got better. From what I remember. I might be wrong, but I remember you only get 2 shots per short rest. And I remember that being not fun. I'm back. Welcome back. So what I was talking about is how my new paladin subclass has it's not draining the magic, but I have a mechanic. Yeah, I have a mechanic in my new paladin where it when it casts a first level healing spell, basically when it casts a first level paladin spell, it wasn't dependent on healing spells. They roll a d6. And if it's a 5 or a 6, kind of like a breath weapon recharge, they don't consume the spell slot. And it's just to encourage paladin, this like healing paladin, to use its spell slots more and not feel like they have to reserve it as much. And then, but it is kind of random though. It's like 33% chance. And then also it kind of scales with level. At 10th level, it can be a 2nd level spell slot. At 15th level, it can be a 3rd level spell slot. It might be a little too strong, but I like it, so. And so you can, this paladin also has like healing word. They have guiding bolt, you know, little, you can be a range paladin if you want, you know, very supporty paladin. Okay, so we got I have quite a few characters who use first level spells without slots, or characters who have assorted utility spells with infinite cast. Nice. Oh, Nathan H, welcome. How you doing? The music is fine. Good. I am glad. Yeah, I put it really low. I wanted it to just be like, you know, listenable, but nothing like overwhelming. Okay, so Arcane Archer, again, we're gonna be going over the old version and the new version, comparing the two, also putting context that the fighter is different now as well, and the fighter is very good now. I like the new fighter a lot. Okay, so we got Arcane Archer Fighter. Deploy magical effects through enchanted ammunition. Arcane Archer studies a unique elven method of archery that weaves magic into attacks to produce supernatural effects. The first Arcane Archers stood watch over their communities, keeping an eye out for dangers and using magic-infused arrows to defeat monsters and invaders. Over the centuries, other species have learned the elves' mystical methods of blending arcane aptitude with archery and broaden their application to ranged weapons of many kinds while applying those talents to an adventuring life. So that's cool. I'm gonna run down to my local Kroger and get a thing of ice cream. Nice. With my paycheck from 2 days ago. Dude, that sounds freaking dope. Some of these classes are quite good. Yeah, I agree. I really like a lot of them. We just went over the Arcana Cleric. And besides the 6th level feature, I really like it. They just have a weird thing with dispel magic, dispelling your friendly abilities like bless or haste that feels bad. But I feel like, you know, this is playtest. They'll probably get that reception in the you know, surveys. So yeah. So design note, Arcane Archer updates. Here are the main updates in this subclass since it appeared in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Arcane Archer lore now gives you proficiency in both Arcana and Nature skills. Arcane Shot has been redesigned. The feature now allows you to use any weapon with the ammunition property. You now use the Arcane Shot die. It gains for extra damage in the options you select. Okay. Every ever ready shot is now available at a lower level. Improved shots, powerful shots, and masterful shots are new features that improve your arcane shot die. They incorporate prior damage increases to your arcane shot options, but spread the increases across more levels of play. Fun. Arcane gun. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with the fact that you'll be able to use more than a bow. The Arcana Cleric is quite nice, I agree, but 6th level. The only subclass I think is far too weak is the Monk one. I would reduce the cost of all abilities to 1 focus. Yes, we're going to get to that. I did skim the all of this. I said at the beginning of the stream, I did skim through all of these. So I already know a bit about the Monk, and yeah, it reminds me a lot of the 4 Elements Monk of the 2014 rules. So yeah, they need to make a lot of changes with that one, and we'll go over that soon. So you learn the Druidcraft or Prestidigitation cantrip. Intelligence is your spellcasting ability for it. You gain proficiency in the Arcana and Nature skills. If you already have one of those proficiencies, you instead gain proficiency in a different one of your choice, or with 2 other skills if you have both. You learn to unleash special magical effects with some of your shots. Hey, 4 Elements was functional. Barely. Yeah, it was. Barely. You learn 2 arcane shot options of your choice from the Arcane Shots options section. Later in the subclass's description, you learn an additional arcane shot option of your choice when you reach fighter level 7, 10, 15, and 18. Each time you learn a new arcane shot option, you can also replace one option you know with a different one. Using arcane shot once per turn, typical 2024 once per turn things. When you make a ranged attack using a weapon with the ammunition property, you can apply one of your arcane shot options to that attack. You decide to use the option when you hit a creature and deal damage to it, unless the option doesn't involve an attack roll. So that's nice. You don't have to choose to do it until after, like a smite. Oh my god, banishing shot. You can just shoot a motherfucker into a different dimension. Yep. I think they had that in 2014, but we'll go over that if that's not the case. Yeah. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a short or long rest. Arcane shot options refer to your arcane shot die. Your arcane shot die is a d6. If your arcane shot option requires a saving throw, the DC equals your intelligence modifier plus your proficiency bonus. So many intelligence-based fighters. I know, but now you can use it with a 3006. Yeah, like a gun. Vanishing gun. Okay, so if your arcane shot, yeah, I already read that. So then they just list all the arcane shot options. It doesn't, wait, actually, let me, I'll go over those in a second, but where does it say? One more, sorry, oh yeah, I see. So arcane shot, and here's the arcane shot options, and then you're an additional arcane. Yeah. Why can't I find the where it says how many you get? Oh yeah, you can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. So that's what I was looking for. That's the difference. So let's go over the 2014 a bit. So yeah, you get the same prestidigitation or druidcraft stuff at third level. Blah 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 blah. It was once per turn in the 2014 rules, which I actually didn't remember. So that's good to know. You said use this option. You have 2 uses of this ability, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a short or long rest. Again, you are still a fighter, so I feel like you're gonna eventually get 5, depending on how you build the character. One thing I have to say, this is very multi-classable because it's your intelligence modifier. Blade Singer. Again, Blade Singer is specifically melee weapon stuff from what I remember. But like, oh, you could do Wizard, Arcane Archer all day. Artificer Arcane Archer, I feel like is going to be popular. Especially if you go with the, what's it called? The Battlesmith Arcane Archer. Oh my gosh, that's going to go crazy. Especially because it can be any ranged weapon. Okay, so yeah, let's read the shots because that's the bulk of this. So got Banishing Shot, Beguiling Shot, Bursting Shot, Enfeebling Shot, Grasping Shot. Is that it? Oh, Piercing Shot, Seeking Shot, and Shadow Shot. Okay, so these used to all be called arrows because it used to only be a bow. Okay, and then 2014 we got Banishing, Beguiling, Bursting, Enfeebling, Grasping, Piercing, and Seeking, and Shadow. So it's the same abilities, just changed to shots. Okay, let's Banishing Shot. You magically your magic temporarily sequesters your target in a harmless demiplane. The creature you hit takes additional psychic damage equals to 1 roll of your arcane shot die and must succeed on a charisma saving throw or be banished. While banished, the creature has the incapacitated condition and a speed of 0. Okay, yeah, just normal banish rules. And yeah, that's pretty similar. 2014. Temporarily banished in the Fey. You said the flavor of the Feywild. That's gone now. So it's basically exactly the same. Beguiling Shot. Your magic causes the ammunition to temporarily beguile your target. The creature you hit takes additional psychic damage equal to 2 rolls of your arcane shot die. It must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or have the charm condition until the start of your next turn. Interesting. So you shoot someone and they take additional psychic damage, and it's 2 rolls of your arcane shot die instead of just 1, so that's nice. So it's a bit more damage, and they're charmed by you. One thing I will point out though, a lot of people get confused about the charmed condition, because I did a whole video on it when I did a Glamour Bard video. If you want to check that out, go and check out my YouTube channel. I did a the ultimate Glamour Bard debuff diva build. And the charmed condition, they can't attack the person they're charmed by, and that's basically charmed. And I think you have advantage on charisma rolls, but in combat they can't attack you. That's basically all it means. So a lot of people think that the charm condition ends if you attack them. That's not true. It's just that a lot of spells that charm people have the stipulation that if you attack them it ends, but that's actually not the condition by itself, if that makes sense. So you shoot them and they're charmed by you until the start of your next turn, treating either of you or one of your allies within 30 feet of the target as the charmer. Wait. Or have the charm condition until the start of your next turn, treating either of you or one of your allies. Wait. I'm confused by this. Okay, so the creature you hit takes additional psychic damage, 2 rolls of your arcane shot die, and must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Or have the charm condition until the start of your next turn, treating either you or one of your allies within 30 feet of the target, your choice, as the charmer. Oh my gosh, this is actually really good. The charm condition ends early if the charmer attacks the target, deals damage to it, or forces it to make a saving throw. So it does have that stipulation. But here's something to think about, guys. Let's say you have an NPC that you need to keep safe. You can shoot the bad guy, and you can make the NPC the charmer. And then they can't attack the NPC. That's actually pretty clutch. Because a lot of people might not know this if they forget how the charm condition works. That's why they have the whole stipulation that you can make the charmer one of your allies within 30 feet. So that's actually pretty good. I'm at my local Kroger now. Y'all want anything? I would love a half pint of chocolate ice cream. That'd be great. But unfortunately, I don't think you can get it to me in time. Might melt before then. The charm condition ends early if the charmer attack. Okay, so yeah, that's actually pretty good. What was the old version? Okay, yeah, so it's the same. I guess because Arcane Archer only had 2 shots, I didn't realize how strong they were. Bursting shot, you imbue your ammunition with explosive force energy. Immediately after you deal damage to the creature, your target, and each creature within 10 feet emanation originating from the target takes force damage equal to 2 rolls of your arcane shot die. Okay. Okay, so that's cool. So yeah, basically you shoot someone and then they take creatures all around them take 2d6 force damage. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, and it goes to 46 at level 18. I think it goes up quicker here. We'll get to that. Enfeebling shot, your ammunition saps your target's strength. The creature you hit takes additional necrotic damage equals to 2 rolls of your arcane shot die. The target must also succeed on Constitution saving throw or have the poison condition at the end of your next turn. Whenever a target poisoned in this way hits with an attack roll, it subtracts an amount equal to 1 roll of your arcane shot die from the total damage of that attack. Okay, so that's pretty good because it's 2 rolls of your arcane shot die. So basically, you shoot a target. They take 2d6 necrotic damage. they're poisoned. Again, a lot of creatures are immune to poison, but not as much as you think. You can poison a dragon. I found out in a recent one-shot I did, you can poison an Empyrean. Level CR 23 Empyrean. Yeah. And then whenever a target poisoned in this way hits with an attack roll, it subtracts an amount equal to one roll. Okay, so okay. So it's basically, you can do the effect that Synaptic Static has. You get to subtract minus 1d6 from all of its attacks. Wait. Oh, no, it's worse. Never mind. Okay, so it's like the Enfeeble spell. Yeah, so it doesn't take away from the hit. It takes away from the damage. So it takes away 1d6 of damage if it hits something. Okay. I don't think this is that good. I don't really like Enfeebling Shot. Enfeebling Arrow. So, okay. 2014, it's a bit better. It halved all damage. That's actually, yeah, that's better. Why not have that still? They could do 2014 things and be like, oh, it's resistance. You have resistance to all their attacks or something. I don't know. Your ammunition, grasping shot. Your ammunition creates clutching brambles around your target. The creature you hit takes additional slashing damage equal to one roll of your arcane shot die and must succeed on a strength saving throw or have the restraint condition. So it's basic. It's just you're casting Ensnaring Strike. The target or a creature within reach of it can take an action to make a strength athletics check. Yeah, so you're casting Ensnaring Strike, but it doesn't require a bonus action and it doesn't require concentration. That's... yeah. It also doesn't do damage every turn. But that's basically what that is. Grasping Arrow. D6 poison damage. Its speed is reduced by 10 feet and takes 2. Grasping Arrow is arguably better in 2014. So I think this is the problem they had. Is in 2014 they made the arrows pretty strong, but they only gave you a couple uses. Now they give you more arcane shots, like uses, but they made a few of them less powerful. Piercing Shot, you give your ammunition an ethereal quality. When you use this option, you don't make an attack roll for the attack. Instead, the ammunition shoots forward in a 30-foot line that is 1 foot wide, originating from you, then vanishes. The line ignores cover as the ammunition phases through solid objects. Each creature in the line must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes damage as if it were hit, plus additional piercing damage equal to 2 rolls of your arcane shot die. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage. That's pretty good. Yeah, so it was a little less damage, but basically the same. Seeking Shot. You grant your ammunition the ability to seek out a target. When you use this option, you don't make an attack roll for the attack. Instead, choose one creature you can see in the last minute. The ammunition flies toward the creature, moving around corners if necessary and ignoring half cover and 3/4 cover. If the target is within your weapon's long range, the target must make a dexterity saving throw. Otherwise, the ammunition disappears after traveling as far as it can. On a failed save, the target takes damage as if it were hit, plus additional force damage equal to 2 rolls of your arcane shot die. Yeah, Battlemaster does still seem stronger. And you learn the target's current location. On successful save, the target takes half as much damage only. Okay. I don't deal with cover much in my games, personally. But if you deal with cover a lot, this is great. Okay, then we got shadow. It seems similar. We got shadow shot. Your magic occludes your foe's vision with shadows. The creature you hit takes additional psychic damage equal to 1 roll of your arcane shot die, and it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or have the blinded condition until the end of its next turn. That's it. That's kind of lame. Ooh. It's good, but like not like amazing. I will say the blinded condition is nice because barely anything is immune to it. A lot of people miss. I had this thing happen in one of my high level games where the bad guy had true sight, but he failed his saving throw on sunburst and was blinded, and the DM was so upset that the true sight character was blinded, because he's like, that doesn't make sense. But no, true sight does not make you immune to blind. True sight also doesn't mean you can see through walls. It's not X-ray vision. It is, you can see illusions in the ethereal plane and stuff, but a piece of wood you cannot see through. So yeah, I would say the shots are mostly the same. Some are a little stronger, a lot are a little weaker. So yeah. Let's go over the other abilities. Okay, so how this is written is confusing. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's because there's just not that much other text. Tremor sense is better, yeah. And blindside, arguably, too. Okay, arcane shot options refer to your arcane shot die. Your arcane shot die is a d6. Okay, so curving shot level 7. You learn... Oh yeah, also, keep this in mind. You get 2 of these options at level 3. And how fast does it go up? You get 1 more, 7, 10, 15, 18. So you get a total of 5 by the end. No, 6 at the end. And there's 8. So you'll get basically all of them, but 2 at 18th level. Huh. Yeah. Totally. So curving shot, you learn how to direct an errant shot towards a new target. If you make an attack roll with a weapon with the ammunition property and miss as opponent's action immediately after the attack, you can make an extra attack with the same weapon against a different target that you can see that is within the weapon's long range and that isn't behind total cover. This extra attack doesn't require ammunition. Okay. That's cool. Not like amazing, but cool. We also get ever ready shot when you roll initiative and have no uses of arcane shot left. You gain 1 expended use of it. Okay. You get 1 left. You get 1. Okay. Level 10, your arcane shot die becomes a d8. Level 15, your arcane shot die becomes a d10. Level 18, your arcane shot die becomes a d12. I gotta say, I heard a lot of people online, I skimmed through some Reddit posts as well, saying that this wasn't very powerful. I get what you mean, but like, I feel like it's pretty strong. Like, it's not like, I'm gonna try Baja Blast for the first time. Dude, Baja Blast is so freaking good. I think you'll love it. Oh my god. Okay, so I think, yeah, so like we already have in chat, it's easy to compare it to the Battle Master. Depending on what your intelligence is, you get a similar number of uses as a Battle Master. But Battle Master, especially the 2024 version, they eventually get an ability where they can use one Battle Master maneuver per turn for free. And then also you don't have the limit of being only able to use one maneuver per turn. This, you can only use one maneuver per turn. One arcane shot per turn. A lot of the damage, though, I think this is easy to overlook. For beguiling, bursting, grasping. Sorry, I'm double checking real quick. No. I'm seeing the damage for each shot because they're all a little different. So beguiling, bursting, piercing, seeking. So for about half of the shots, it does 2 of your arcane shot dice. So at level 18, that's 2d12. I feel like I would take bursting shot as one of my first ones. And probably, oh man, that's hard. I'll probably do bursting shot, grasping shot, and then, it's so hard. Yeah, I like bursting shot a lot. It's a big AoE that does an extra 2 rolls of your arcane shot die plus the initial normal damage. I feel like that's pretty good. Yeah. I feel like it could get something else to make it a bit better. I feel like the ever ready shot could be more than one. Maybe this you get to use this every single time you roll initiative, and you have no uses of arcane shot left. But this is a problem that a few other subclasses have had in the past. If you have 2 or 1 or 3, this doesn't work. But like, I feel like you should just, I don't know. Yeah, seeking works really, really well as well. Yeah, seeking is good too. Yeah. And it does the 2 rolls of your arcane shot die as well. And it's additional force damage. So yeah. I don't know. Eldritch Knight is much stronger. That's true. Battle Master is stronger. Yeah, I just feel like even the Psi Warrior Fighter, honestly, the Psi Warrior is probably the closest I can compare this to. Because the Psi Warrior does get extra damage with its subclass abilities, but it doesn't get that much extra damage. So I feel like if comparing it to the Psi Warrior, it's pretty similar. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, regain 2 every time you roll initiative. I feel like that would be fair. I don't like that it's when it only works when you have no uses. I specifically hate that part. Like, come on. They could even do the monk thing, the new 2024 monk, where you get to, like, once per day, you get all your arcane shots left. I don't know. I just... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could make this better. But it's very simple. Basically, you get all your class abilities at level 3. And you get and you just get improvements to it. It's pretty, like, boring. I guess is kind of what I'm thinking. I just wish there was like a couple like unique things you got. Yeah, Psy Warrior is good if you do some real minor tweaks to Warrior. Yeah, no, I get that for sure. I actually did a whole Psy Warrior build a few weeks ago too. You want to check that out? It's fun. It's better than people think it is, but it's still like not as strong as some other fighters. That all being said, though, let's go ahead and go to the completely new subclass, the Tattooed Warrior Monk. So again, I skimmed this one. It's one of those subclasses that gives you a bunch of options and you choose a few. I agree, just add more abilities. Yeah, no, for sure. I think the options are a little too unbalanced compared to each other based on my skimming, but let's actually go over it all. And none of them are really helpful to a monk specifically. So anyway. Okay, enhance martial arts with your magic tattoos. Drawing from diverse body marking traditions from across the multiverse, tattooed warriors can use arcane power imbued in their magic tattoos. These monks gain tattoos as they grow in martial prowess and insight. Tattooed warriors can cause their tattoos to change shape to access a versatile suite of physical and magical effects to overcome foes. You gain level 3 magic tattoos. You gain the magic tattoos described by other features of this subclass. The tattoos appear on your body wherever you wish. Damage or injury doesn't impair your magic tattoo's function. A magic tattoo's depiction can look like a brand, scarification, or birthmark. Patterns of scale or other cosmetic alteration. That's good for, you know, like if you're playing a Warforged or a Dragonborn, it still makes sense. If a tattoo's effect requires a saving throw, it's your wisdom modifier basically. Yeah. Use your wisdom modifier for any effects that are like spell-like. Whenever you finish the long rest, you can reshape one of your magic tattoos, changing the option you choose from one list to another upon option on the same list. Okay. So you can switch them out per long rest. That's good to know. Yo, this Baja Blast stuff is like addictive fruity battery acid. Dude, Baja Blast is very good. Yeah, I like it a lot. I don't even like Mountain Dew, but I like Baja Blast. Okay, so you get beast tattoos for level 3. I have some suggestions for these as well. So you get, the first one is, you know, Dancing Lights cantrip. That's fine. When you expend one focus point to use Patient Defense or Step of the Wind, you gain Blind Sight to a range of 10 feet for 1 minute. Okay. That one's actually pretty good. Blind Sight is good throughout the whole game, like we discussed earlier with the Shadow Shot. It's better than True Sight in a lot of ways. Okay, Butterfly, you know, the Light cantrip. You can expend one focus point to cast Silent Image without material components. Okay. Oh, you mix it with some red body armor hydration and it's peak. Oh, I bet that sounds delicious. Okay, Chameleon, you know the Minor Illusion cantrip, and you can spend one focus point to cast Disguise Self. Crane, you know the Guidance cantrip. Whenever you miss a creature with an attack granted by your Flurry of Blows. Oh, the wife is calling me. I'll take this for a second and then I'll be back. The wife is out of town and she was just checking if I was alive because I wasn't responding to her text. Oh yeah, don't worry. Everything's all good. Okay, so we got Crane, you know the Guidance cantrip. When you miss a creature with an attack granted by your Flurry of Blows, you have advantage on attack rolls for any remaining unarmed strikes with that use of Flurry of Blows. Got Horse, you know the Message cantrip. You can expend one focus point to cast Longstrider without material components. Wives can be scary, but Luckily, my wife is on a fun little trip right now, so she's having fun. Spider, you know, the mending cantrip. All significant others can be scary at times. When you hit a creature with an attack granted by your flurry of blows, the creature has disadvantage on its next attack roll before the start of your next turn. Okay. That's pretty good, actually. Tortoise, you know the dying cantrip. You can spend 1 focus point to cast false life with that. Sure, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, no, totally understandable. So, okay, I have a lot of opinions. Yeah. No, I totally get it. Technically, I'm the wife. Totally understandable. Yeah, wives, you guys have a lot of power. Oh, I see. I get what's going on. Are you the bottom? I know that's not culture, that's not PC, but you know what I mean. Wait, I gotta check on the man. Check on the man! So. Yes, I am. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Love it. So. Here are my opinions about this. You get to pick 2. The problem with these is there's some that are so obviously better than others. I would straight up pick Bat, Crane, or Spider, and I wouldn't pick any of the other ones. That's the problem. Also, I feel like they could have done really unique things with these, and they didn't. The thing is, a lot of monk abilities that you normally get with other monk subclasses is you're able to use a normal monk ability and an extra thing happens. This is you use, you basically you get to use your focus points to do a different thing. The ones I mentioned though, like Crane, you use your flurry of blows and then you just get an extra thing you can do. I think Tortoise should let you. I feel like also they can mix some cantrips with the ability you get to use a focus point with. I used to like twinks and femboys who are my height or shorter. This man is 6'4", mechanic built like you. Oh, nice. Yeah, I have a few of. I actually have a gay couple in one of my groups, and yeah, they're great. They're both buff. And so it took a while for me to understand what was happening, but they shared with me. They're both real buff, tall guys. So, okay. I think, yeah. So imagine this. Imagine if Tortoise was this. Tortoise doesn't make sense to me. Why do you get Spare the Dying with Tortoise? I get it's supposed to be like you're tankier, but that's like not, it doesn't make sense to me. What if Tortoise was this? What if you know the Blade Ward cantrip, and when you use Patient Defense, you can cast it with Patient Defense. That's kind of a little too strong, but I just feel like that could be so cool, because Blade Ward is such a good spell for martial characters, and I feel like that would be insane. I feel like that could be so cool. I don't know. I just feel like they could incorporate these with abilities. Like Chameleon, you know Minor Illusion, and you can spend 1 focus point to cast Disguise Self. What if, like, I don't know, what if you could cast Minor Illusion when you use Step of the Wind? I don't know, like, I just feel like they could have been a little more creative with these, you know? Okay, and then we got Celestial Tattoo. You gain, and then, so these you get 2 options. All the other ones you just get 1, I'm pretty sure. You gain an additional magic tattoo, making a celestial phenomenon. Choose a tattoo from the following options. Comet, you can expend 2 focus points to cast Find Traps. What the fuck? Why? Why is that a thing? Guys, Find Traps sucks. And they didn't fix it in 2024. It's the same. You get to know that traps exist. No one will ever take comment. Ever. Like, okay, I'm gonna read Find Traps. Okay? Like, how the designers are awesome. They make some really good stuff. But what are they smoking? Okay. Okay, when something is too strong for 1 or 2 turns, it's not too strong. It's like a hold the line for a second longer type thing. Yeah, no, I agree. I get what you're saying. Yeah, like maybe... Yeah, I feel like that could be good. I feel like that's true. And like a level 2 sorcerer could bonus action cast Blade Ward with Quicken Spell anyway. So like, you know. Might as well give a monk that for a whole subclass feature. I feel like that's fine. So Find Traps. You sense any trap within range that is within line of sight. A trap for the purpose of this spell includes any object or mechanism that was created to cause damage or other danger. Thus, the spell would sense the alarm or glyph of warning spell or a mechanical pit trap, but it wouldn't reveal a natural weakness in the floor, an unstable ceiling, or a hidden sinkhole. The spell reveals that a trap is present, but not its location. You do not learn the general nature of the danger posed by a trap you sense. The top comment on here by Lord Fatty McFatfat is, "You had one job, Watsy." Abel Hawk says, "I wish they'd at least had the dignity to change the name to Detect Traps, since that clearly does not find the traps." It's also badass. Yeah, like bonus action, patient defense, Blade Ward. They have disadvantage and a minus D4 to their attack against you. That's so cool. And it's a tortoise. You're like, oh, I'm gonna use this tortoise tattoo to protect myself. Yeah, but this wording. Okay, so yeah, guys. Comet is a what were they smoking? Also, 2 focus points to know that a trap is around you somewhere. And if you're already suspecting there to be traps, that's why you activate this ability. So you're halfway there already. Wait, find trap? Could I find traps? Oh, damn. No, hidden femboys are an object intended to cause harm. Yeah. Not intended, but can. Potentially. Okay, Crescent Moon. You can expend 2 focus points to cast Misty Step. Too expensive, but fine. They're so liberal with giving Misty Step to all these subclasses, but this one. Okay, Eclipse. You expend 2 focus points to cast Invisibility without material components. That's fine. I get what they're doing. They're doing the thing that the Way of the Four Elements monk did in 2014. They're equaling focus points to spell slots. So these are level 2 spells, so they're doing 2 focus points. It didn't work with the Way of Four Elements monk. It's not going to work with this one. You can spend 2 focus points to cast Lesser Restoration. Yeah. And then we got level 11 Nature Tattoo. You gain an additional magic tattoo depicting a natural feature. Choose a tattoo from the following options. We have Mountain, Storm, Volcano, Wave. These are again too expensive, but I remember thinking this is actually fine. As a magic action, full action. A full action isn't as bad for a monk because you can bonus action Flurry of Blows. So it ends up being not as big of a commitment. Misty Step is really good. I do agree with that. And the monk does get a lot of mobility anyway, so it would just be adding even more. So yeah. Okay, as a magic action, you can spend 3 focus points to gain resistance to acid damage and advantage on Constitution saving throws for 1 minute. Okay, that's pretty good, but it costs too much. Storm. As a magic action, you can spend 3 focus points to gain resistance to lightning damage and advantage on dexterity saving throws for 1 minute. Also, by this point, you have evasion, so that's pretty good. Volcano. As a magic action, you can spend 3 focus points to gain resistance to fire damage and have advantage on strength saving throws for 1 minute. I have to remind you guys too, you can change these per long rest. Right? I remember reading that. Whenever you finish long rest, you can reshape one of your magic tattoos, changing the option you chose from the list to another option. Okay, yeah, so you can. Far Step? Yeah, I know that spell. What about it is weird to you? I get what you're saying, but yeah, I had Far Step on one of my Warlock characters, and I used it a few times. It was helpful when I was in a force cage. What about it is wonky for you? Because I kind of get what you're saying, but like when I was in a force cage, it helped me because I had to succeed on a charisma saving throw to successfully teleport out of it, and because I was a warlock, I only had a couple spell slots, so it helped because I was actually able to escape it. Because if instead I had Misty Step, I would have only had 2 chances, you know. Okay, Volcano. Yeah, I already did Volcano. Wave. As a magic action, you can spend 3 focus points to gain resistance to cold damage. An advantage on wisdom saving throws for 1 minute. Okay. I feel like these are more balanced. What I mean by that is like there isn't one that's necessarily way better than another one. I would probably go with Wave, mostly for the advantage on wisdom saving throws for 1 minute. Just because a lot of spells that affect your mental take like our wisdom saving throws, but that's just me. Seems like a strange thing to have to hold concentration on, and is pretty high cost. I see what you're saying. So you feel like it's not strong enough for concentration and the spell level it's cast at. I get what you're saying by that. Yeah, that's fair. And I'll be honest, I only used it a few times on my warlock. I didn't use it like all the time. Yeah. Okay, so think about this though, guys. You're level 11. You have 11 focus points. And they come back on a short rest. But like, it lasts for a minute too. So you can't like activate this before combat. I guess you could, but I don't know. It just, first round of combat, you're fighting a caster. Magic action, advantage on wisdom saving throws for 1 minute. I could see myself doing that. You know? I don't know. It just, okay, let's go to Monster Tattoo. Level 17. You gain a magic tattoo. Make it 90 feet maybe. It says, yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I feel like that could be better for sure. You get a magic tattoo depicting a supernatural creature. Choose a tattoo from the following options: Beholder, Blink Dog, Displacer Beast, and Guardian Naga. Okay, Beholder, you have a fly speed of 10 feet and can hover. Additionally, you can expend 3 focus points to cast Counterspell. Okay, this is nice that you just have this. And then I feel like these are more fair because Counterspell is a 3rd level spell and you can't upcast it. I don't know. I guess it's just that at level 17, 3 focus points isn't as much of a percentage of your pool, and that's why it seems nicer. But I don't know. Okay. Blink Dog, when you expend a focus point to use Patient Defense, you can expend 3 focus points to cast Blink immediately after that bonus action. That's pretty good. Displacer Beast, when you expend a focus point to use Flurry of Blows or Step of the Wind, you can expend 2 focus points to cast Mirror Image immediately after that bonus action. That's actually my favorite so far, because Mirror Image is really good. Oh my god. Okay. If you had Tortoise the way that I described it, and you took Displacer Beast, You could be concentrating on Blade Ward, have mirror image up. Oh, that'd be awesome. It is only 10 feet though, so it's pretty slow fly speed. Yeah, only 10 feet fly speed, so not much. I feel like it's more useful out of combat, and in combat it's useful so you don't fall off of things, I guess. I guess you could dash and get 20 feet. Guardian Naga. When you would be reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, your hit points instead change to a number equal to... Okay. So basically you get a buffed orc relentless endurance with a twice your monk level, so a level 17, that's like almost 40, not quite. It's fine. Yeah, you could throw Hands of the Dragon. That's true. And you do get counterspell. Yeah, I just think they need to reduce the cost a bit, and they need to make some of them more desirable. Or work with other abilities. Like Horse, I think is pretty good. Monks do get slow fall. Yeah, that is true. But I guess if you really want to stay up in the sky, you got an option, you know. Now, I think what could be a good use of this, if you have access to if someone casts Jump on you, so the new version of Jump, you just get to jump up 30 feet. So let's say, let's say someone casts it on you, or you take Magic Initiate Wizard, and then you have the jump spell. You cast Jump on yourself. Then you jump up in the air, but you can just stay up because you got a fly speed with hover. You don't have to, you know, I feel like that could be good. Yeah. And I guess there is technically jumping rules that could work with that. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this one just needs some work. It's not bad as a idea. Just wait, spend more focus points to add 10 feet to the fly speed per each. That could be good, yeah. It is an always on thing though. But yeah, you could like maybe expend a focus point to make it 10 more feet. I just don't want it to be too expensive, you know? I don't know. I think it's good, but it's a good idea, but could use work. I would pick Crane. I would pick Bat. Or I would pick Crane and Spider. Definitely Crane, though. You get advantage on all your Flurry of Blows attacks if you miss one. I feel like that's really good. Spider is the sap weapon property with Flurry of Blows. Basically, all the abilities where you do a thing that you would normally do and you get an ability, I think is better. Oh my gosh, freaking Twitch. Allow. Yeah, you can say that. Automod thought you were bullying. You're not bullying anyone, you're good. Okay, okay, now I feel like we reviewed the Tattooed Monk well. Let's go over the Ancestral Sorcery Sorcerer. So I'm going to give you my general opinions about the vibe of this first. So if you guys don't remember, sorcerers used to be called... Sorcerer subclasses used to be called blah 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 ancestry, like draconic ancestry, or was it ancestry? Let me double check. It was Divine Soul. Was it let's go into the Old Player's Handbook. Player's Handbook 2024. Why can't I just remember with my head? Sorcery, sorcerer. Why did they censor mother? I cried when I killed a wasp once. I'm too soft to bully. Dude, two things. First of all, I'm terrified of wasps. My wife is actually the one that kills bugs in the house. Oh my gosh. And she's a badass about it. One time we were in our bedroom and a wasp flew in through our window because we had a window unit air conditioner and there was like a little gap. It flew in the bedroom. I was like, oh no, there's a wasp. Let's run out. And she grabbed a tissue and killed a wasp with her fingers. And it was just like one tissue. It didn't even have like multiple layers. And then the second story I was going to say. So we own 3 cats. I fucking love cats. Cats are one of my favorite animals. I adore them. One time I was driving on the highway and a fucking cat literally jumped in front of my wheel when I was going like 70 miles an hour and I ran over it and it was so sad. I was sad for like 2 weeks. Ugh. Well, I mean, unless someone messes with my friends or family, at which point I can and will convince someone they don't deserve. Oh yeah, no, I get that. No, totally. Gotta defend the family and friends. So Bloodline. It was called Bloodline. Okay, so it was like Draconic Bloodline, Wild Magic Bloodline. Is that what it was? Or Sorcerer's Origins? Yeah, Divine Soul Sort. I just remember like subclasses used to be like, oh, it's the blah 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 subclass. I guess they were called Sorcerer's Origins. And they weren't necessarily called Bloodlines. Okay. The reason I was looking that up is being called the Ancestral Sorcery Sorcerer. It just feels like you're saying if you use the old naming scheme, it's like, oh, your sorcerer magic comes from your lineage more than other sorcerer subclasses that normally come from their lineage, you know? I feel like this subclass is really strong based on me skimming through it, but it has a confused, it's kind of a hot take. A lot of people seem to like this one. It has a confused, whose dad fucked a dragon? Yeah. It has a confused and very vague theme, I guess. So, Ancestral Sorcery Sorcerer, bear the power of a spellcasting lineage. Your innate magic comes from a specific ancestor who wielded such awesome magical power that a fragment of their personality guides you. This ancestor grants you guidance and direction as you explore your innate magical abilities. You might be the ancestor's sole surviving descendant, a reincarnation who bears an eerie resemblance to your ancestor, or a victim of a curse gained from handling your ancestor's personal effects. That's so vague. So someone's dad fucked a sorcerer? That sounds about right. Level 3, Ancestors Lore. You use your force of personality to channel your ancestors' knowledge. When you make an intelligence check, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1. You also gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: Arcana, History, Investigation, Nature, or Religion. So it seems like someone's dad fucked a wizard. I mean, it's a charisma class, I guess. Yeah, no, totally. Not a sorcerer. They fucked a wizard, because you know intelligence stuff. You also gain proficiency in one of these. Yeah, I already read that. Level 3 Ancestral Spells. This is where I was like, huh? I don't understand what's happening. So it seemed kind of like, wizardy a little bit. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's a cleric, kind of. So you get Command, Guidance, Locate Object, Protection from Evil and Good, Resistance, and Spiritual Weapon. Huh? Level 5, you get Magic Circle and Spirit Guardians. Level 3, you get Divination and Locate Object. Level 9, you get Legend Lore and Yolande's Regal Presence? These are all good spells. But what's happening? It is my personal belief that the reason sorcerers exist is because of horny parts. No, totally. I agree. Level 3, Vestige of the Ancestor. So we got like a roleplay feature already. We got spell list, and now we got another feature. Choose the form your ancestor takes, which might resemble the ancestor in life or a symbolic creature. While your innate sorcery feature is active, which is the new sorcerer bonus action, they get to add +1 to their saving throw, like their attack spell save DC. And they get advantage on attack rolls with sorcerer spells. While your innate sorcery feature is active, this feature appears in a spectral haze around you. You have advantage on any ability check you make as part of the influence action. Okay. So you can sorcerer rage and be better at talking. Okay. Okay, to be fair, as a newly self-discovered bottom, beards are hot. No, totally. No, I get it. I'm a person that has a beard. I like beards, but I come from a long line of men in my family that we have very sensitive skin but thick facial hair. So if I try to shave every day, my face would be like, you know, those guys that have a bunch of scars on their face from shaving? I would end up being one of those guys, and I don't want to be one of those guys. So yeah, it is a fashion choice, but also kind of a necessity. We got, my dad has had my parents have been married for 33 years, and my mom has never seen my dad clean shaven. Okay, level 6, superior spell disruption, sorry. Your superior spell distribute. Here's a spell. No, disruption. Your ancestor's spellcasting mastery aids you in breaking spells. You always have counterspell and dispel magic prepared. Okay. So we're an abjuration wizard. While your innate sorcery feature is active, you can cast each spell without expending a spell slot. Okay. So they can't counterspell or counterspell. Oh wait, no, that's not what that means. You can counterspell. You can still counterspell it. It's more that you can cast other spells. You can do spell magic and then bonus action cast something if you want. Is more what I meant. Counterspell is already a reaction. Oh, you know what that means though? That means that you can counterspell a counterspell. I'll explain what I mean. So okay, so the new spellcasting rules are you can consume 1 spell slot per turn. I have such hypersensitive nerves. I can feel every inch of my skin constantly, and it's always itches. I can even feel my organs move. Dude, that's intense. Okay, so the new spellcasting rules are you can use 1 spell slot per turn. Because of this, if you cast counterspell and then someone counterspells your counterspell, if you cast a spell and someone counterspells it, because you already used a spell slot that turn, you can't counterspell their counterspell. But because you can cast counterspell without using a spell slot, you can now counterspell again. So that's cool. If you cast counterspell in this way, the target has disadvantage on its Constitution saving throw. Damn. If you cast Dispel Magic in this way, you have advantage on your ability checks to end ongoing spells. Damn. When you cast either spell without a spell slot, you must finish a long rest before you can cast the spell in this way again. Yeah. So that is... I feel like this is stepping on the toes of the Abjuration Wizard. Let's go ahead and read Abjuration Wizard. Again, wizards aren't struggling for being powerful, so maybe it's fine. But if you guys haven't looked at the new Abjuration wizard, they get a 10th level ability. So it happens a lot later than this, which is a 6th level ability. Spellbreaker, you always have counterspell and dispel magic prepared. In addition, you can cast a spell magic as a bonus action, and you add your proficiency bonus to its ability check. When you cast either with the spell slot, that slot isn't expended if the spell fails to if the spell fails to stop a spell. So it's very similar to Spellbreaker, but just slightly different, and I don't know if I like that. It just seems too similar to me, but that's just my take. Maybe it's fine. Despite this, I have nerve damage downstairs, so I don't even get the plus. Oh, that does suck. Dang. That sucks. Oh my god. And then we got level 14. Your ancestor's visage evokes awe or dread. While your innate sorcery feature is active, you are surrounded by a magical aura in a 5-foot emanation. Whenever a creature you can see enters the emanation or ends its turn there, you can force the creature to make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, the target has the prone condition or has the frightened condition until the end of your next turn. Your choice. A creature makes the save only once per turn. Okay. Vitor, how you doing? Welcome. It's been a while. This was a bit personal, but hey, if I said something out of line... Oh! Derp Lord Memeing Star, you are totally fine. Don't worry about it. That is funny and interesting to me. Funny, it's not funny. I don't want to make fun of you, but I mean, like, it's funny because, you know, you have the plus side, but not the... Yeah, it's totally fine. I do not mind at all. We're all having a fun time. So yeah, this is a good defensive option. And I think I'm kind of starting to understand the theme a bit more, because you get Yolande's Regal Presence, which, if you guys don't know what Yolande's Regal Presence is, I'll read it. So this is a new spell that came out of the new player's handbook. Again, I made a whole build about it with my Debuff Diva build video that you guys can check out on my YouTube channel. You surround yourself with Unearthly Majesty in the 10-foot emanation. Whenever the emanation enters the space of a creature you can see, and whenever a creature you can see enters the emanation or ends its turn there, you can force the creature to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 46 psychic damage and has the prone condition. And you can push it up to 10 feet away on a successful save. The target takes half as much damage only. A creature must make the save only once per turn. So basically, you have Yolande's Regal Presence on your spell list. The thematics of this is supposed to be that they're in such awe of your epic majesty that they take psychic damage and they fall to the ground. And then with Ancestral Majesty, you also get to, if they're within 5 feet of you, they fall prone or frightened of you because of your presence. Yeah, your ancestor's visage evokes awe or dread. But again, okay, so they make you rely on your innate sorcery a lot, but I think that's fine and pretty good, actually. I think that if the theme was more like clear, I think I would be a little more optimistic about this subclass, because I think it's designed well. I think I created a homebrew spell called Manipulate Magic, and honestly it's kind of busted, but I can't be. Also had a character spike a spear made of hydrogen plasma point blank straight down into a death goddess avatar at the speed of light, so I don't know. That's super fun. Oh man. Manipulate Magic, yeah, that sounds like a fun spell. My DM one of my DMs does a lot of things where he gives us abilities, but he doesn't give us a actual like sheet explaining all the mechanics of it. He gives us a very vague ability, and then we get to use it and see what happens. And yeah, it's fun. The theme is family. Vin Diesel subclass. Yes, this is Fast and Furious family subclass. Because, okay, so vague ancestor powers. You get spiritual weapon and spiritual guardians. I guess that's like it's supposed to be like their ghost, I guess. But then your ancestor helps you be charismatic. And I get because you're a charismatic sorcerer, but like it just says they're a powerful spellcaster. It doesn't say that they're like a like I feel like it should be like, because all sorcery subclasses tend to be ancestries anyway. Again, in 2024 they also said that there's alternative ways to get powers now, and I feel like that's why they're being more clear with this subclass. But I feel like it would be more interesting if it was like you are the ancestor, your ancestor is a folk hero, like folk hero sorcery, or like because you're very charismatic, you inspire awe in fear into people. Grandpa wants to get that pussy and throw hands from beyond the grave. What's not to understand? Grandpa, yeah, it could be like I feel like it's a very specific ancestor, not a vague ancestor, but they say it's vague in the subclass. I don't know. Like, I feel like this should be your grandpa was a paladin sorcery. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Your grandpa was a paladin, but also you're really good at intelligence-based things, and you're really good at dispelling magic and countering magic for a reason. Like, okay, this is what it is. Your grandpa was an abjuration wizard paladin multiclass. Subclass. I don't know. A lot of people didn't have this take. He wants to throw hands. Let the man throw hands. Yeah, I should just let him throw hands. Oh yeah, I missed that. There's more, guys. Shit, there's more. That's already so strong. There's a second level 14 feature and a level 18 feature. Okay. Steady spellcaster at level 14. Your deep connection with your ancestor steadies you. Taking damage can't break your concentration on sorcerer spells. Just can't at all. Wait, maybe you come from a long line of various spellcasters and sorcerer bloodlines? That would make sense. That would make sense why you get a bunch of different things. And then level 18, Ancestor's Ward. Your Ancestor's Protection redirects harmful magic away from you. While your innate sorcery feature is active, you gain advantage on saving throws against spells. Once during your use of innate sorcery, when you fail a saving throw against a spell, you can choose to succeed instead. I feel like this should just be like sorcerer sorcery. Or like magic masters. I don't know. I don't know. You bear the power of a spellcasting lineage. Maybe like a long line of spellcasting. I don't know. That's just my take. But now we get something great, guys. We get a revised Hexblade. If you don't already know, when was that? That was... does it say the date on the top of UAs? Apparently, Grandpa managed to bag a magic goddess, Dami Mommy Melf. Yeah, your grandpa is Gale from Baldur's Gate 3. So, with the Mistra situation going on, This came out like, was it 2 months ago? 3 months ago? Not that long ago. The horror subclass thing. So I'm not going to go over Xanathar's Hexblade because I can tell you that by memory. But I'm going to go over the one they did in the horror subclasses, and then I'll go over the new one. Or maybe the Weave just thought you were cool. Yeah, like Weave Sorcerer. I don't know. Again, that's Forgotten Realms specific, but yeah, I feel like they could change the thematics. Okay, Warlock, Hexblade Patron. I'll just summarize what happened prior to this UA. So basically, they had the Hexblade Warlock, and this was before Pact of the Blade was good. It came out in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. A lot of people forget too, there's a bunch of invocations that were also added to the to Xanathar's Guide to Everything. So Pact of the Blade was really, really bad before Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Then in Xanathar's Guide to Everything, they added a bunch of new invocations that made it better. And then they added the Hexblade Warlock. I actually played a Pact of the Blade Celestial Warlock in a campaign, in a 2014 campaign. And with the 2024 rules, with the Xanathar's Guide to Everything invocations, it made it really not that bad. The one thing that it was lacking was charisma modifier for attacks. So I had a high dex in charisma, and I used my high dex for my weapons. But now with and then Hexblade, you didn't have to do that. But I really liked the thematics of the Celestial Warlock, so that's why I made a Celestial Warlock. Anyway, now with the updated 2024 rules, any Warlock subclass can be a blade using character, because Pact of the Blade gives you charisma modifier for attacks now. You don't get medium armor and shield proficiency though, but a lot of people multi-class anyway. I multi-class into a fighter for my 2014 build. Okay, so as a DM, am I wrong for letting Hexblade Warlocks use other charisma-based caster spell slots for Eldritch Smite? Rules as written, yes, but I get it. That sounds super fun. Yeah, that's technically not true rules as written, but I like that. So, Hexblade Warlock in 2014, you got Hexblade's Curse, which let you, it changed the crit range from 19 to 20. You got proficiency in with a bonus action. You get applied on things. You got a pretty good spell list. You got proficiency in medium armor and shields. You got to use your charisma modifier for attack rolls. Later, you got Armor of Hexes, which basically, I think you rolled a d4, and if you hit a certain number, attacks would just miss you. You got a 6th level feature called, I forget what it was called. Oh yeah, something Spectre, a Cursed Spectre. After killing specifically a humanoid creature, you could use your reaction to summon a Spectre, and it was buffed a little bit. Pretty good, but like very situational, because you specifically had to kill a humanoid creature. You couldn't do it on someone else's. And then, because of the new Warlock being added in 2024 rules with a better Pact of the Blade, they were like, shit, how are we gonna redo the Hexblade Warlock? Am I weird for letting people use other charisma caster slots for Smite? I read your message on Twitch. I don't think so. It's wrong. It's incorrect ruling, but it's fun. It's a fun homebrew. I think that's a fun homebrew. I like that. So, okay, I'm gonna go over this. So this is the unfortunate thing they did with the horror subclasses. They made Hexblade Warlock fully reliant on the Hex spell. So basically, Hexblade's Curse was changed. You can cast Hex without expending a spell slot a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. When you cast Hex, a spectral weapon resembling your patron orbits the cursed target. And then you got a bunch of Hexblade maneuvers, and it's things you could do to the target that you have Hex on them. Also, specters don't get an afterlife, dude. Yeah, no, totally. We had to roleplay that in one of my games. So you get Draining Slash, Harrowing Blade, and this Mark thing. I'm not going to go over every ability because this is the old version. Thank you. I searched Slat and this stream was the only thing that came up. How you doing, Tibural? So, do you play D&D? I know Schlatt doesn't play D&D, but I'm going over D&D stuff. The reason I have Schlatt as a tag is just I like Schlatt as a streamer. So yeah, sorry if you don't play D&D. I'm on the Schlatt Reddit. Are you a femboy? If you know the Schlatt Reddit, you'll understand my joke. Anyway, we got... I always wanted to get into it. Well, welcome. So levels, we're going over the most nerdy, not introductory thing that you could get into for D&D. Oh, I know what he did in 99. I know what Schlatt did in 99. I saw the effects of it too when I visited New York. I was shocked. Okay, so yeah, so basically everything is tied to hex spell. None of these abilities work except on your hexed target. Same with the level 6 feature, level 10 feature, and the level 14 feature. So you have to be concentrating on hex for any of these abilities to work. I will say that because of that, the Hexblade spells, none of them are concentration spells besides Hex. So that was well designed. But so we got like Magic Weapon, Shield, Wrathful Smite, Conjure Barrage. Dude, imagine the threats, especially with Cloak of Flies. I know you don't fear death, but what if I told you I could make sure you didn't come back? No, totally. Then we have what is it? What is it? We got the new version of Hexblade. And yeah, I'll read. We're now going over the new version. So we got Hexblade Patron Warlock. Forge a pact with a cursed blade. You've made a pact with a sentient magic weapon, and the cursed forces contained within its blade. Such a weapon could be the sword sheathed at your side, or it could be a manifestation of an infamous magic weapon like Black Razor or the Sword of Kos, projecting its power to further its legend. To those willing to follow this weapon's whims, these inscrutable patrons offer the power to bestow malignant curses, deliver punishing blows, and bolster the wielder. So we get Hexblade spells. They all seem the same. Let me double check. So you didn't get Bestow Curse before. And you don't have Dispel Magic anymore. They also got rid of Magic Weapon, which that's sad. I like Magic Weapon. Very good spell. Everything else seems the same though. The man has not responded to his email yet, and I am going to lose it if he gets himself hurt again. This man is more accident prone than Milo Murphy from that Disney show. RIP. I hope everything ends up being okay. This is the reason why they added Bestow Curse though, and this is very fun. I think they fixed this subclass. So, level 6, Hexblade's Curse. Your patron grants you the power to curse and hinder your foes. As a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself. The target is cursed for 1 minute, during which you gain the benefits below. The curse ends early if you use this feature again. If you dismiss it, no action required, or die. So, you can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, and you regain an XP to use when you finish a long rest. When you cast a spell using a spell slot that curses a target, you can use your Hexblade Curse as part of the casting of the spell instead of taking a bonus action. When you do so, the target of the spell is the target of your Hexblade's curse, and your Hexblade's curse duration is either 1 minute or the spell's duration, whichever is longer. Okay, this is great. So what this does basically is you no longer have to worry about concentrating on Hex, because Warlock gets access to so many cool spells that making it rely on Hex is annoying and shitty. But if you are using Hex or bestow Curse, you are able to benefit. You're able to use Hexblade's Curse with the casting of that. This is actually very similar to my Archhag Warlock that I made, and I'm totally fine with them taking my idea. They're not taking it, but you get what I'm saying. If I gave you $5, would you run through every magic item in the 2014 rules that you have access to? I have access to most of them. I can't today. Unfortunately. Maybe another time though. I'll if you go on my Discord, maybe you could convince me. But yeah, thank you for the offer though. Yeah, I'm just getting tired and I gotta record a YouTube video later. So you can cast so you can Hexblade Curse your Hex target or your bestowed Curse target, and these are the benefits you get. Hungering Hex. What about $10? Nah, I can't. Sorry, man. I'm just getting rolled. This stream is going to be long anyway, and I just don't have time today, unfortunately. Okay, Hungering Hex. When the target cursed by your Hexblade Curse drops to 0 hit points, you regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your Charisma modifier. That's fun. If I go past 10, I can't get groceries this week. Oh man, you should keep your money then, man. Thank you so much for the offer though. So you get a nice little healing ability. This is similar to the Fiend Warlock, but it has to be your Hexblade Curse target. Get a Cursed Shield. While you aren't wearing armor or wielding a shield, you gain a +2 bonus to AC while you are within 10 feet of the target cursed by your Hexblade Curse. Okay, so this Hexblade does not get access to shields and medium armor, but you get +2 bonus to AC while you're within 10 feet of your Hexblade Curse target. That's one thing that's weird about this though, is Warlocks do get access to light armor. So they didn't think about this. They didn't think this through. Okay, so think about this, guys. So you are a Warlock. I'm gonna go make a Warlock real quick. Real quick. I just want to do a thought experiment real quick. Okay, let's say you're a Warlock. And let's say you are let's go with level 10. Or no, let's go with the lower level to make it simpler. Let's go with 3rd level. Okay, you're level 3. Your ability scores, let's say you are point buy. Let's say you go the max charisma, you go the max dexterity. Let's not give a shit about the other abilities. And let's say you have leather armor. Okay, add certain equipment. Background, you have whatever background gives you the most dexterity, just for the sake of simplicity. Give me that dex. Okay, so let's say you have what am I missing? Why can't I complete this? Equipment. Okay, I need to activate these. Nah, that's good. Oh, species. You're just a human, I guess. I don't know. Okay. So you're a Warlock. You have a 17 dex, which is a little generous. You put on your leather armor. Your armor class without leather armor is 13. The leather armor makes your armor class 14, because leather armor, it makes your base armor class 11 plus your dex. Okay, so Without armor, you're 13. With armor, you are 14. Okay. So this ability is giving me a +1 AC. But only to my Hexblade, but only if I'm within 10 feet of my Hexblade target. Let's say, for argument's sake, you got a lower dexterity. Let's say you're rocking a 13 dex. Okay, the leather armor will make it's still +1. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have said if you're wearing medium armor or wearing a shield, medium, heavy, or yeah. Basically, it's actually a +1 bonus. It says +2, it's +1 because you could be wearing armor, light armor. McDonald's doesn't give me nearly as many hours as they should. Even if I basically run the entire front of the building by myself on the busiest street in arguably the state. Pain, but I gotta make the bread. I'm barely conscious 3 hours in most days. Oh, I get that, insomnia. I actually dropped unconscious. Dude, that sucks. Luckily, it was outside and I wasn't carrying food, so my manager didn't see it and send me home. Dude, I could talk all day about how the workers don't get compensated properly for their work. You make a lot of money for the company, but that doesn't matter to them. And that sucks. That's shitty. What's the minimum wage where you're at, though? I'm curious, because McDonald's pays a bit better than it used to, but still not great, obviously. So, yeah, it's a +1 AC, actually. And then, unless you have a terrible dex. We get, what's next? This is all level 3, by the way. Unyielding Will. Oh, you get tips at McDonald's now? I didn't know McDonald's does tips now. Dude, that's freaking cool. You get $12 an hour, nice, okay. Okay, Unyielding Will. So you get paid $12 an hour total. That does suck. Oh, man. I'm in Missouri, so our minimum wage is like almost 11 now, I think. It's a bit better. Okay. When you succeed on a saving throw to maintain concentration, each creature of your choice in a 10-foot emanation originating from you takes 2d6 necrotic damage. Once you use this benefit, you can't do it again until starting your next turn. Oh! In addition, when you fail a saving throw to maintain concentration, you can choose to succeed instead. You gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d6, but oh, that's freaking awesome. Oh, people just front you ones. Dude, what? That's crazy. People just give you tips at McDonald's? Dude, that's what's up. So, I'll say this. I really like this. Unyielding Will is freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. So you get... It doesn't scale, but like you get to do 2d6 necrotic damage in a 10-foot emanation when you succeed to maintain concentration, and then you can just automatically succeed instead once per day, and then you get temporary hit points. That's freaking... I love it. And it's a level 3 ability. Oh no. Are people going to be dipping into Hexblade again? Because a level 3 dip, you get Arcane Vigor, Hex, Shield, Wrathful Smite, Hexblade's Curse, which gives you temporary hit points. You get a Curse Shield, you get an AC bonus, and you... Oh. Nah, it's still not that much better. I don't know. Didn't have customer service, man. I snapped my finger sideways a bit opening a door for someone once, and they never knew. Oh wow, just cracked it back and it was better the next. Dude, that's intense. Okay, level 6, Malign Brutality. Your patron's might furthers your bloodlust, granting you the following benefits: Harrowing Hex. After you cast a level 1 plus spell that has a casting time of an action, you can make one attack with a weapon as a bonus action. Okay, cool. That's kind of like the old Eldritch Knight ability. I like it. Okay, Hindering Curse. When you hit the target cursed by your Hexblade Curse with an attack roll, the target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the start of your next turn. Okay. Wait. Okay. You can't benefit from it, though. Like, life is like a shitty sandwich. No matter which way you flip it, the bread comes first, and it's not gonna be satisfying at all. Yeah. Okay, guys. So let me work through this. So Harrowing Hex gives you the ability to do a bonus action attack specifically after you cast a spell. Hindering Curse says when you hit a target cursed by Hexblade Curse with an attack roll, the target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the start of your next turn. So I will say this does work with Counterspell. So if you do Hindering Curse on someone and then they cast a spell at you before the start of your next turn, Counterspell is now a saving throw spell. They would have disadvantage on that saving throw. But this would most of the time be used to help another spellcaster in the party make their saving throw, because you wouldn't be able to cast a spell after you target them with an attack roll. Okay, that's interesting. It's still good, but kind of, I don't know, weird. And the Inescapable Hex, when the target of your Hexblade's Curse ends its turn 30 feet or further from you, you can move up your speed straight towards the target. Okay, that's cool. So you have a way to get closer to them. Easier. I may play some Blade and Sorcery with your stream in my ear. Oh yeah, may go radio silent for a bit, but I'm listening, brother. If I get an ad, I won't respond to any questions or comments or anything, because I won't hear. Oh, totally fine, no worries. Thank you for hanging out on the stream, by the way. You've been here the whole time. I appreciate it. You got level 10 Armor of Hexes. When you take damage from the target cursed by your Hexblade's Curse, you can take a reaction to reduce the damage taken by an amount equal to your Warlock level. Okay, not as powerful as the old Armor of Hexes, but probably more balanced. It has unlimited uses, though. You can just keep doing this. This is honestly a light version of the monk deflect attacks. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. A lot of people are really upset though about the armor about them not having armor and shield proficiencies, because if you straight class this, it's still going to be pretty rough in close quarters combat, I will say. But you do get a slight AC boost, and you do get a way to heal. So that's important to remember. And then later you get a way to reduce damage with your level 10 Armor of Hexes. You also, yeah, so it has a good amount of defensive options. But honestly, if you look at all the Warlocks, I know this because when I made my recent Warlock, I looked at all the other Warlock subclasses in the player's handbook. Level 10, they almost all have defensive options. So just take features from both 2014 and 24 that you like, cherry pick them. Yeah, that's totally fine. That's awesome. Did I just stumble on a video of D&D rules? How you doing, Mason? Kind of. So, first of all, are you a D&D person? Do you play D&D? If you do, Wizards of the Coast released a new subclass playtest. So what I'm doing is I'm going over the newly released playtest for new subclasses. So in a way, yes. These are yet to be released, and they're asking the community what we think about them. and so I'm discussing what I think about them. If you are into D&D, I also make my own homebrew D&D content, and then I also make character build videos and then general commentary. Also, when Baldur's Gate 3 originally came out, I made a bunch of videos on that, if you like Baldur's Gate 3. So yeah. If you like that sort of stuff, then welcome aboard. I played D&D, and last night I ran our first Daggerheart game. Dude, that's awesome. I haven't played Daggerheart yet, but I have been consuming some content on it. It looks super fun. I am a Critical Role fan. I listened to all of Campaign 2. I kind of got less interested in Campaign 3, and I have watched portions of Campaign 1. And yeah, I like the things that they did with Daggerheart, and I want to play it sometime soon. So we got level 14 Masterful Hex. The power of your Hexblade's curse increases, granting the following benefits. A curse critical. Okay, so they took the Hexblade's curse crit thing that you normally got at level 3, and they moved it all the way up to level 14. I think this is fine because they wanted the champion fighter to not feel like, hey, they got what I got, you know. So I think this is fine because the champion fighter, they also get 19 or 20 crit range, but for them it's on every attack. For this, it's only on the cursed target, but still. It still felt like it was stepping on their toes a bit. Then we get Explosive Hex. When you deal damage to the target cursed by your Hexblade's curse, you can cause your curse to explode with sinister energy. The target and each creature of your choice in a 30-foot emanation originating from the target takes 3d6 necrotic damage, psychic damage, or radiant damage. Wait, what? That's pretty good. And their speed is reduced by 10 feet until starting your next turn. Once you use this benefit, you can't do it again until you finish the long run. Okay. Or expend a pack magic slot to restore the use of it. Okay, so you get to do once per long rest for free, and then using pack magic slots, you basically get to do an AoE smite that reduces speed until starting your next turn. That's, I say smite because it's like with your weapon attack. It says when you deal damage to a target, it's technically not a weapon attack. It can be, this is one problem I did, is I was thinking about this all from the point of view of a melee character, but most of these abilities are not specifically tied to weapon attacks. Almost all of these are just tied to attack rolls. So you could be an Eldritch blasting Hexblade, which is kind of weird. Oh my god, wait. Now I gotta think about all these abilities using Eldritch Blast. Okay, I added my shitty middle school Photoshop character. My username is named after my Twitch PFP pick. Awesome. Yeah, no save on that. Ooh. Okay, so yeah. So you're Eldritch Blasting away. You hit someone. Oh, Hexblade's Curse and high level magic missile in 2014 rules shred. Oh yeah, no, totally. But yeah. So you could Eldritch Blast someone and then do a bomb of necrotic damage that slows them. Oh my god, yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. And for level 14, it's not like too strong. I don't think it's too strong. Never give a Hexblade Warlock the Robe of Stars. I know about the Robe of Stars. Yeah, no, totally. But again, I feel like Hexblade players are still mostly going to be melee, but you could totally play this as a ranged character. That's crazy. Then we've got Hex Restoration. You gain 1 expended use of Hexblade's Curse when you finish a short rest or use your Magical Cunning feature. Okay, that's fine. Not amazing. That's minimum of over 35 damage if you have max Charisma. Wait, wouldn't it be... Oh yeah, well it depends on how many targets you have. Per target. It would be more 13 damage. But if you have 3 targets, it would be... No, if you have 2 targets, it would be closer to that for sure. Yeah, if it's 2 targets, it would be around 30. So yeah, and you can choose Necrotic, Psychic, or Radiant. I forgot that. I kept saying Necrotic, but no, it could be... And it's on... Magic Missile... Oh, I'm thinking single target. Yeah. Oh man, that's a cool ability though. I like it. Ooh. Okay, so now we're gonna go over the wizards. So I'll say this: I think that if they release this warlock as is, I'm pretty okay with it. I want them to fix is the wrong word. I want them to make a curse shield better, because you can't wear light armor with a curse shield. It says while you aren't wearing armor or wearing a shield, you gain a +2 bonus to AC while you're within 10 feet of the target cursed by your Hexblade curse. Because warlocks gain proficiency in light armor inherently, this makes it so you can't wear light armor if you want to benefit from this, and that's stupid to me. You should be able to wear light armor with a curse shield, because that's yeah, and then it'll be a bigger bonus than what it says it is, because this is effectively a +1 bonus to AC. Damage rolls against the cursed target deal extra damage equal to your bonus. Oh, you're talking about with 2014 rules for Hexblade's curse? Yeah, dude, that's crazy. No, totally. Yeah. They gained your... Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, this new Hexblade's curse doesn't do that, unfortunately. Okay, so I said this at the beginning of the stream, which is almost... I've been talking a long time, guys. It's been almost 3 hours. So my take on 2014 Wizard is that they made the base class pretty strong, and so the subclasses they didn't do much with. I felt like the subclasses made it so that because there wasn't a lot going on with them, they didn't feel as flavorful. But because the base wizard can do so many things, it's hard to make the subclasses flavorful. With the 2024 rules, I feel like they definitely made the subclasses a lot more flavorful, and I like that. I also have a hot take where I don't really like wizards that much. Wizards tend to be people's favorite, like one of their favorite classes. I just think that you're a guy that can cast spells is kind of boring, because a lot of things can cast spells. You can cast spells the most. You can cast the most different ones. But arguably the bard now can almost do that better than you. So the bard can't switch them out as much as you can, though, so there is that. I don't know. I just have a complicated relationship with the wizard. I'm gonna try to go over these a little bit faster just because there's a lot of them, and I'm getting a little tired. But this is the one I'm the most opinionated about, the Conjurer wizard. So in my opinion, conjurers are summoners. But that's not Watsy's opinion. Mortycaster LMAO. Yeah. I need to go to Sources, Player's Handbook. Oh, Sources, Old Player's Handbook. You know what sucks, guys? My office that I'm in, the air conditioning doesn't get here very well. And because of that, I am kind of burning up. But if I turn the fan on, it'll make the audio quality worse. So that sucks. Anyway, so yeah, Conjuration Savant, we won't talk. I'm going to very briefly kind of skim this. So the old Conjuration Wizard, you got the normal Savant feature. You get this weird minor conjuration ability that I think was kind of lame. You get to like summon an object or whatever. It could be any inanimate object, and you can like have it for an hour. Very situational. Creative players probably love it though. Then you got benign transposition. You can use your action to teleport. Yeah, you got this cool teleport ability. And you could switch places with other creatures. This is pretty cool. Then you got Focus Conjuration, bringing it at 10th level while you're concentrating your Conjuration spell. Your concentration can't be broken as a result of taking damage. Okay, and then you got Durable Summons. Level 14, any creature that you summon or create with a Conjuration spell has 30 temporary hit points. So they were a little bit more even-handed with all... Okay, so basically, Conjuration spells are teleportation spells and summon spells. Not all the summon spells, but a lot of the summon spells. For example, Summon Undead is a necromancy spell. But like Teleportation Circle, Misty Step, all of these are conjuration spells, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. I'm gonna go over. We're gonna go to game rules, spells. We're gonna go spell school, conjuration, and we're gonna go by level. I'm just gonna skim through it just so we get the basic idea. Acid Splash is conjuration, which I didn't think about that. Mage Hand, Poison Spray, Produce Flame. You're basically summoning things into existence. Arms of Adar, Ensnaring Strike, Entangle, Find Familiar, Floating Disc, Fog Cloud, Goodberry Grease, Hail of Thorns, Ice Knife, Tensor Floating Disc. You're summoning things that weren't there before. Cloud of Daggers, Find Steed, Misty Step, the first teleportation spell, Summon Beast, Vortex Warp, Web, Call Lightning, Conjure Animals, Conjure Barrage, Hunger of Hadar, Spirit Guardians, Summon Fae, Thunderstep, Conjure Minor Elementals. Wait, Conjure Minor Elementals is conjuration. I didn't even think about that, yeah. It literally has Conjure in the name. Giant Insect. So yeah, basically it's teleportation and summoning spells. Almost all the summoning spells. Yeah. And that's about it. It's also spells where it's not technically a summon, but like you made something happen. Like Hero's Feast is conjuration. Summon Fiend, Tasha's Bubbling Cauldron. Blade of Disaster Gate. Wish is conjuration. Because you're conjuring a new effect. So these all make sense to me, but anyway. They made the new conjuration wizard the teleporting wizard. We have so many teleporting subclasses, and they're like, you know how the other 2014 version was pretty balanced, where it had one teleportation thing, it had one summoning thing, it had one thing where it summoned a random object. This is, you're a teleporting wizard, and I guess you kind of have a benefit to summons. So, step across space and call creatures from thin air. You consider distance and matter to be flexible guidelines rather than physical laws. Conjurers harness the power of magic that moves creatures instantly through space and summons creatures to fight on their behalf. So benign transposition is now available at a lower level, and the distant transportation and quick teleportation features improve it. Conjuration's Font now gives you free conjuration spells to add to your spellbook. Yeah, that's good. That's all the wizard spell subclasses are doing that anyway, though. Durable Summons is now available at a lower level, and temporary hit points grants are based on your wizard level. Okay. So, benign transposition, a magic action, you can teleport to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see. Alternatively, you can choose a space within range that is occupied by a medium or smaller creature. If that creature is willing, you both teleport, swapping places. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore your use of it by expending a level 2 plus spell slot. No action required. Okay. I am okay with this ability existing. You also get Conjuration Savant, but the old wizard also got Minor Conjuration. I don't care about this ability, and I think it's kind of lame, actually. Again, they only got one ability. They changed Benign Transposition from being 6th level to 3rd level. That's also fine. But I want the Conjuration Wizard to be the best summoner in the game. It's not. Because then you get Distant Transposition at level 6. So the level 6 feature is, hey, you know how you got that teleportation feature at level 3? Let's make it better. The range of your Benign Transposition feature increases to 60 feet. Additionally, you regain expended use of it when you finish a short or long rest. Okay. Oh, but level 6 you also get durable summons. Okay, cool. Okay, so you get one feature for summons. When you cast a conjuration spell to summon or create another creature using a spell slot, that creature gains temporary hit points equal to twice your wizard level when it first appears. So 12 extra hit points at this level. That's kind of lame to me. That's not very high. Then level 10, Focus Conjuration. Taking damage can't break your concentration on conjuration spells. That's fine, but Level 14, you can use Benign Transposition as a bonus action. You can also use Benign Transposition as a reaction when a creature you can see makes an attack roll against you, but only to swap places with a willing creature. The creature that swaps places with you becomes the target of that attack instead. I want 2 level 6 features that have to do with summoning. And one of those level 6 features needs to be you are able to summon some sort of summon spell without concentration. The reason why that is there is the Fey Wanderer Ranger, the the Shadow Sorcerer that was in the Forgotten Realms playtest, or no, is in the Horror Subclasses playtest. What we'll see when I scroll a bit, the Necromancer Wizard. There is the it's a Warlock, the Great Old One Warlock. These are all subclasses that give you the ability to cast a summon spell without concentration. And it has a shorter duration that it can be on the field. But why does the Conjuration Wizard not have that ability? There are, in my opinion, that is better than giving some temporary hit points to a summoned creature. Yeah, I think they need to cool it a bit on the teleportation stuff and make this wizard the best summoner there is. That's my take, though. Also, you got so many classes based off of teleportation. We don't need another one. Okay. Enchanter Wizard. I'm getting tired, so I'm not going to show you the 2014 versions of these. I'm just going to read them and give you my opinion on them. So we got the Enchanter Wizard, Entrance and Beguile Others. Your magic clouds or captivates. Wait. Yeah, there was a typo here. Your magic cloud. Oh, no. I understand now. It's not talking about clouds as a noun. It's talking about clouds as a verb. Okay. Your magic clouds or captivates minds. I was like, your magic clouds as a noun. Oh, Thrill, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Ahoy, comrade. Yes. Some enchanters use their abilities to encourage peace and soften cruelty, while others use their mind-altering magic for selfish ends. Many enchanters fall somewhere in between. Yeah, Enchanter Savant, we know about that. Enchanting, Talker, and Vexing Movement are new features that replace Hypnotic Gaze, giving the wizard new options to use in and out of combat. Reflecting Charm replaces the former Instinctive Charm feature. Instead of compelling an attacker to choose a new target, the feature now reliably reduces the damage you take and might harm the attacker. Why? Okay. Bolstering Belief is a new feature to aid yourself and allies in many situations. So enchanting magic is magic that like tricks people, but it's also buffing magic. Shit. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. I'm at least gonna skim through enchantment. Guys, I'm just getting so hot in this room. It sucks. So your animal friendship, antagonist, let's do by level. So like it's friends, but it's also mind sliver, vicious mockery, encode thoughts, animal friendship, bane and bless are enchantment spells. I think that's important. Wizards don't get access to bless, but like, do they get access to bane? No. Okay, so that is fair. Charm person, command, compel duel, distant whispers, heroism, hex, silvery barbs, sleep, touches, hideous laughter, animal. Yeah, so it is stuff that like tricks people, but it's also some buff spells. So I've had to fix PC and get a new monitor. RAM went bad and ultra wide backlight went. Oh, that sucks. So I got a better RAM and ordered a new MSI ultra wide, and MSI sent a better monitor than I ordered. Oh, that's awesome. I got an ultra wide myself, so that sucks that you have to deal with that. Oh man. But yeah, I guess to be fair, most of these spells are kind of tricksy spells. Okay. That being said, let's continue. When you make a charisma check, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your intelligence modifier. You also gain proficiency in one of these skills: deception, intimidation, or persuasion. Okay. Yeah, enchantment, and get enchantment savant. You basically get to pick enchantment spells for free. I ordered a 144 hertz monitor and they sent me a 180 hertz. Dude, and those hertz can add like hundreds of dollars. So that's freaking awesome, especially on an ultra wide. Vexing movement. Immediately after you cast an enchantment spell using an action and a spell slot, you can take a bonus. You can take both the disengage and dash actions as a bonus action. Why? Okay. You gain this bonus action number of times equals to your intelligence modifier. I guess it's like you trick. I don't know. Huh. I guess you're being tricksy and you confused anyone next to you and it made you faster for some reason. Yeah, that is a happy little accident. That's awesome. Oh man. And I got reflecting charm. When a creature within 30 feet of you that you see hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to reduce the damage you take by half, rounded down, and you can force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a fail save, the attacker takes psychic damage equal to half your wizard level plus your intelligence modifier. That's pretty good. Once you use this reaction, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Okay. When you cast an enchantment spell such as Charm Person that can be cast with a higher level spell slot to target another creature, increase the spell. Okay, so twin spell on enchantment spells, basically. Bolstering belief. Your enchantments fortify your allies' bodies and minds. You always have power word fortify prepared. With this feature, you can cast the spell without expending a spell slot, and each target of the spell has advantage on saving throws to avoid it in the charm and frightened condition, while it has temporary hit points granted by this spell. Okay. Once you cast the spell with this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. I think this is a good subclass. Just some of the features are kind of don't really make sense to me, but on paper I think it's good. Yeah. Okay, necromancy. This is a fan favorite. People love the idea of a necromancer, not necessarily the actual necromancer though. You know, I've been going for 3 hours straight. I'm gonna take a little break, guys, so I'll be right back. Okay, I need some water and something to cool off. I'm getting hot in here, so I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm back. Went to the bathroom, got some more water. So I just realized that on the main video, the chat isn't visible. It's only visible on my oh, it's because it's actually, why is that the case? Let me fix this real quick. Oh, it's because I see why. There we go. There's the chat for you guys on the main stream. Actually, with how I got this set up, I can probably move the chat here. Now, it's a little small. Actually, no, fuck it. We're gonna keep it over here and bigger. Let's put it on this side. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, going for 3 hours straight. All that talking can, oh. Where, yeah. But yeah, I wanted to go really deep into this one, so. Yeah. Okay, Necromancer Wizard. So. Command the powers of death and undeath. So you explore the cosmic forces of life, death, and undeath. As a necromancer, you learn to manipulate the energy that animates all creatures. As you progress, you learn to use magic to drain the life force from a creature, transforming its vital energy into magical power. Many see necromancers as menacing or villainous, though not all necromancers are evil. Nevertheless, the manipulation of life and death is considered taboo in many societies. So, Necromancy Savant, yep, does the normal Savant thing where you get free Necromancy spells. Necromancy Spellbook is a new feature that incorporates a redesigned version of the prior Grim Harvest feature. Cool. Grave Power, Undead Secrets, and Death's Master are new features. This is one I didn't read at all. So, yeah. Undead Thralls has been redesigned to utilize the Summon a Dead spell. Okay. I like that spell. A lot of people don't like the quote-unquote Tasha summons. I actually like them a lot. I was never a big fan of the Conjurer spells from 2014, so yeah. Choose 2 wizard spells from the Necromancy School. Oh yeah, it's Necromancy Savant. You guys know what that means. You get free Necromancy spells every time you get new spell level, but you start with 2 ones, so yeah. Level 3 Necromancy Spellbook. Secrets of Necromancy magic in your spellbook grant additional powers. You gain the following benefits: necrotic resistance. You have resistance to necrotic damage. Grim Harvest. When you cast a necromancy spell using a spell slot, choose yourself or a creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself to gain a number of temporary hit points equal to the level of the spell, plus your intelligence modifier. Okay. That's any necromancy spell, including cantrips, because it says just spell. Oh, using a spell slot. Never mind. But okay, yeah, using a spell slot. I misread that. Okay. Okay. I got level 6 Grave Power. You have discovered more necromantic insights and inscribed them into your spellbook. While holding your spellbook, you gain the following benefits: Grave Resilience. Sorry. Texting the wife. Oh my gosh. My my wife is out of town and I didn't text her, and she's like, "Are you dead?" Okay. Okay. So, sorry, grave power. You've discovered more necrotic insights. Blah 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 blah. You can use arcane recovery. When you use arcane recovery, your exhaustion level, if any, decreases by 1. That's decent. Then overwhelming necrosis damage from your wizard spells and wizard features ignore resistance to necrotic damage. Okay. Undead thralls. You always have summon undead prepared and can cast it once without expending a spell slot. When you cast summon undead without a spell slot, you regain hit points equal to half the summon creature's total hit points, but doing so halves creature's what? Halves creature's hit points once you cast a spell without a spell slot. That's weird. What? What are they doing? What are they doing with the Necromancer? I'm confused. The thing is, the thematics of the Necromancer is you having an army of undead. You have one undead, and when you summon it, you can give half of its health to you. Okay. Level 10, you learn more secrets about the nuances of life and death. When you finish a long rest, you can expend level 4 plus spell slot to protect yourself from death until you finish a long rest the next time. Okay, yeah. So you get relentless endurance. You get the, what was it? What subclass was that? You get the 18 feature of the Ancestry Wizard, basically, but it's a little worse. But you get it earlier. Okay. Cool. In addition, though, there's a second feature. Immediately after you take damage and are bloodied after taking that damage, but not killed outright, you can take a reaction to teleport to an unoccupied space into 60 feet from yourself. Oh my god. And each creature within 10 feet of the space you left more teleportation. It's 2020. It's the 2024 rules. We like teleportation. For context, my wife is at an anime convention in another state, and she's a vendor, and she hasn't really been to many anime conventions, so she's like, what is this? This is so crazy. Okay. What'd they do to my boy? What'd they do to the Necromancer? Okay. I understand, though, because they want to stray away from Animate Dead and, like, the old Conjure spells, but this just, like, is disappointing. Anyway. Like, maybe have it so when you cast someone undead, you can summon 2. Like, I don't know. I feel like that'd be cool. At least having 2 little undead guys would be nice. While holding your spellbook again. Okay. As a bonus action, choose any number of undead you have created or summoned with a necromancy spell that are... So you can still use Animate Dead, but, like, I don't know. That are within 60 feet of yourself. Those undead each gain temporary hit points equal to your wizard level. Once an undead gains temporary hit points from this feature, it can't use it can't gain this. It can't do it again for 24 hours. Okay. Harvest power. When you use Grim Harvest, the creature that gains temporary hit points gains one of the following benefits of your choice. Target has which lasts until the end of the target's next turn. The target has advantage on attack rolls. The target has advantage on the next saving throw it makes. Oh, that's it. Yeah, I think it's not bad, but it feels confused. But again, it's a wizard subclasses aren't ever that powerful, so I think it's fine. Not amazing though. I don't know. I don't like undead thralls. I think that's the name doesn't even make sense. I don't know. Okay, we got the last subclass. We have the Transmuter Wizard. This is one that I thought was a I'm interested to see what they did, because the Transmutation Wizard could be really cool. Transmuter Wizard, transform energy and matter. You study spells that modify energy and matter. To you, the world is not a fixed thing, but imminently mutable. Your magic gives you the tools to become a smith or reality's forge. Some transmuters are tinkerers and pranksters. Pranksters, what? Others pursue their magical studies with deadly seriousness, seeking the power of the gods to make and destroy worlds. Yeah, Transmutation Savant. Transmuter Stone is now available at a lower level. You can create the stone when you finish a long rest. Wondrous Enchantment. What? Didn't the Enchantment Wizard have this? No, Enhancement. Okay, it says Enhancement. And Split Transmutation are new features. Potent Stone is a new feature that gives more options to your Transmuter Stone. Master Transmuter is revised. It's Panacea choice now restores hit points to remove a curse. So from what I remember about the Transmuter Wizard is just like other 2014 subclasses, it didn't have a lot going on, and the Transmuter Stone abilities weren't like super beneficial, but were just kind of little like kind of beneficial things. So let's see what we got. When you finish the long rest, you can create a magic pebble called a Transmuter Stone. That lasts until you use this feature again. Creature with the stone in its possession gains a benefit from one of the following options, which you choose when you create the stone. When you change the stone's benefit when you cast a transmutation spell using you can change the stone's benefit when you cast a transmutation spell using a spell slot. So yeah, always on, change it, long rest. But if you cast a transmutation spell at any time, you can also change it, as long as the spell uses a spell slot. Cool. But these are the options. There's only 4. You gain dark vision to range of 60 feet or increases the range of its dark vision by 60 feet. Okay. Speed. The bearer's speed increases by 10 feet. Okay. Durability. The bearer gains proficiency in Constitution saving throws. That's pretty good. That's the default that I'm putting on mine if I'm a Transmuter Wizard. Resistance. The bearer gains resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder damage, your choice each time you choose this benefit. Okay. I like that you can switch it out. I don't think you could do that in the old one. Wow, you have to spend 8 hours creating the Transmuter Stone each time you cast. Oh, okay. No, it worked the same. It worked the same in the old version. Okay, that's good to know. So it's not that different. I'm gonna look up some transmutation spells though. I just want to like figure out, especially at low levels, what kind of spell are you casting to change this that you could cast regularly? Because I view transmutation spells as not something you cast like that. There's not much damaging ones. Wait, first of all, does it have? It has to be a cantrip. I mean, it can't be a cantrip, right? No, it cannot be a cantrip. You have to use a spell slot. Okay, so ignore the cantrips. Catapult. Featherfall, jump, long strider. Blindness, deafness. Large reduce. Okay, I could see you casting buff spells on your friends to change the stone. Again, you're not gonna need to change the stone much. At higher levels, fly. You can cast fly on yourself and change your stone. That seems good. Blink, gaseous form, haste. Oh yeah, haste is transmutation. Okay, yeah. Like I could see, like, imagine if you're in a situation where you need to get out. You can cast haste on yourself and increase your speed by 10 feet. I have a homebrew transmutation spell for one specific artificer, and it's called Recalibrate Reality. It's an anti-wish, anti-warp reality thing. Oh, that sounds cool. I like that. Nice. So I'm assuming it's like a reaction spell or something. I like that. But yeah, you could do something like cast haste on yourself and change your speed by 10 feet. You could also cast haste on yourself and make sure you have gain proficiency in Constitution saving throws. You could cast, yeah. There's creative things you could do with this. Okay, Wondrous Enhancement. You always have enhance ability prepared and you cast it without a spell slot. You gain the ability to cast it in this way when you finish the long rest. I don't think wizards normally get enhance ability too. That sounds like a not wizard spell. No, I'm wrong. Oh wow, even sorcerers get it. Never mind. It just feels like a cleric and bard thing. Targets of your enhanced ability also have advantage on saving throws using the chosen ability. Oh my gosh, that's actually really good. Oh wow. I love that. Oh shit. But how long does enhanced ability last? 1 hour. It is concentration, but wait. Oh shit, and you can target multiple creatures with any spell slot level above 2. Oh my gosh, this could be really good. Like, let's say you are in a fight with a dragon. You could do enhance ability dexterity, and everyone has advantage on dexterity saving throws with a breath weapon. Yeah, haste, yeah. I like that. Oh my gosh. Haste. Yeah, haste. Oh, totally. Okay, we have level 6 split transmutation. When you cast a transmutation spell such as fly, that can be cast at a higher level spell slot to target an additional creature. Also, enhance ability qualifies for this. Increase the spell's effective level by 1. Okay. You can use this feature a number of times equal. Okay, yeah. This works well with the enhance ability thing. Oh my gosh. This is the saving throw king. Like, you could have your Transmuter stone give you proficiency in Constitution saving throws, and then have enhance ability, and then be concentrating on enhance ability, dexterity, have advantage on con and dex saving throws. Oh, not this isn't it. Oh wait, fuck! I just realized something. This gives you advantage on saving throws. This gives you proficiency in saving throws. You could have proficiency in con saving throws and then gain advantage on con saving throws with enhanced ability. Again, that requires your concentration, and you're a wizard, and you probably want to be concentrating on other things, but I don't know. I feel like that's really powerful. Okay. And then this makes it so you can target more creatures, lower spell slot. Potent stone, your Transmuter stone is more versatile. You can choose up to 2 options when you create your Transmuter stone. You can choose each option. You can choose each option other than resistance only once. You can choose resistance twice. You must choose different damage types. You can change either one. You can change either or both benefits when you cast a transmutation spell. Okay. I feel like there still needs to be more options though. Dark vision, speed, durability, and resistance. Like, I feel like I would most of the time have speed and durability on. Dark vision is very situational. If I'm a human, I'm using this. Not many other situations. The 2 damage types is also pretty good. Okay. And you can change. Okay. I like this. This is my favorite out of the 4 so far. Okay, Master Transmuter, level 14. As a magic action, you can consume the reserve of transmutation magic stored in your transmuter stone to choose one of the following benefits. After using your transmuter stone in this way, it crumbles to dust. Okay. Panacea. The bearer regains a number of hit points equal to twice your wizard level and ends a curse, including the target's attunement to a cursed item. Okay. Interesting. Restore life. You can cast Raise Dead without a spell slot using the stone in place of the normally required material components. Restore use. The bearer permanently appears 3d10 years younger to a minimum of young adult. Okay. It says they appear though. It doesn't say they actually are. Like their lifespan is probably still the same. Interesting. But then, what does it require to conjure this? Okay, so basically you can do any of these 3 abilities, and then you have to wait for a long rest to get your stone back. But remember, if you use your stone, you also lose your 2 transmuter stone abilities that you have on your person. Also, you can give this to other people as well. So that's something to keep in mind. You can also, these 3 effects, like you can use Panacea on your friend that has a stone, or you can use Restore Youth on your friend that has a stone. Raise Dead, you're still casting that, and it's not on the bearer necessarily, so. With Restore Life, you're going to have it in your inventory. Arcane Recovery, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so they're definitely going to change it before publishing. I have a hot take with the Conjurer. I think the minor conjuration feature is fun and cool, but it is very situational and dependent on a very creative player, which I think is really cool. But my problem with the Conjurer Wizard is the fact that it focuses so much on teleportation and doesn't have a lot of summoning abilities. I want it to be the Summoner Wizard, personally. But yeah, I wouldn't mind them bringing back minor conjuration, maybe making it a bit different. But they made it like such a teleporting wizard, and I think teleporting should be half of its abilities, not 75%, if that makes sense. Because it has... Okay, so it has... Conjuration Savant doesn't count. So out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abilities... Focus Conjuration doesn't qualify as summoning or teleportation, so we're going with 4 abilities. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of them have to do with teleportation. 1 of them has to do with summon spells. And that's my main problem with it. And the 1 ability that is a summon isn't like that good. It's fine, but like, I don't know. Are you also a D&D content creator, by the way? with your name being Arcane Recovery, you seem like you're a fan of a wizard, and that just sounds like a YouTuber name. If you are, I'd love to check out your channel sometime. But yeah, that is all the subclasses. I went over, this is probably the deepest dive I've done of an Unearthed Arcana. We did about 3 hours. So yeah, I went really in depth on this. We also had a lot of fun in chat talking to people. Derp Lord Memeing Star has been here the whole time. Yeah. I'm gonna be releasing my Oath of Radiance Paladin soon. I've been working on it. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek since you guys are in the chat. First of all, first of all, I got this art commissioned. And I love it. I'm gonna make this smaller so you can see it better. I got this art commissioned. How's the, wait, let me check the, I'm gonna adjust the, I'm adjusting the shorts chat real quick. Oh, how you doing? Wait, I was just talking about how you've been in the chat the whole time, and I appreciate it. So I found this amazing artist. It took him 3 weeks to make this piece of art. But this is my Oath of Radiance Paladin. And this is the art that they made for it. I'm very happy with this art. And basically it's a healing and radiant damage focused paladin. The Oath of Devotion Paladin is its closest analog. But okay, so I have 2 reasons I made this subclass. I feel like the Light Domain Cleric is too focused on fire damage, and I feel like the Oath of Devotion isn't radiant enough. If that makes sense. And basically I also played a lot of World of Warcraft, and I played a Holy Paladin, and Paladins can heal, but they aren't really main healers. This Paladin is my attempt at making a healing focused Paladin that also has a radiant damage focus as well. And so it's the best healing Paladin, and it is the most radiant damage focus subclass. And it doesn't have any fire spells, because I think fire is different than radiant damage, and I wanted that to be clear with this one. Basically. Also, unfortunately, I'm using the SRD, which means there's some spells that I wanted to add to this spell list, but I can't. So I have my, like, this is the official, I have my, like, I wish, you know, spell list. So I'll read it for you real quick. This is a you guys get a sneak peek because this is a paid one. So yeah, you guys get to see the real thing. We got Oath of Radiance. Mend the broken, purge the corrupt. The Oath of Radiance drives paladins to eradicate darkness in all its forms. These warriors heal wounds of flesh and spirit, yet relentlessly confront sources of despair. They forgive mortal flaws, but unleash searing wrath on entrenched evil, corrupt tyrants, fiends, and other architects of suffering. Many swear this oath to gods of light or dawn, channeling their power into radiant magic. To allies they are light bringers, to tyrants they are annihilation. Proof that no shadow is eternal. These paladins share the following tenets: shine light upon all shadows, revealing truth and kindling hope. Mend the broken in mind and body, and seek justice, but with a patient heart. We have the Oath of Radiant spells. We got Light Cantrip. So we might as well have a little cantrip. Guiding Bolt, Healing Word. 5th level, you get Aid and Shining Smite. Paladins normally get this, but I felt like they should have this automatically prepared. We have Beacon of Hope and Spirit Guardians. We have Death Ward and Resilient Sphere. And we got Telepathic Bond and Mass Cure Wounds. the spells I wanted on this, I wanted Font of Moonlight, but that's not available, sadly, on the SRD. And I forget what other spells I wanted, but there's a couple other ones I wanted that I unfortunately wasn't able to do. I also wanted to differentiate the spell list a bit from the Oath of Devotion. So I went with Telepathic Bond for level 17. And I feel like that is a unique one, but I feel like it works well because this is very much a support paladin. Then we got the most complicated ability I've ever written called Beacon of Light. If you're familiar with World of Warcraft, you probably know where this is going. I'm gonna fix the formatting later. I had a little formatting problem. Oh, you know what? I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. Whoops. Yeah, okay, I think that's better. Ooh, okay. Then we got... Okay. When you cast a first level spell or higher, or use a class feature that restores hit points or deals radiant damage, you can expend one use of your channel divinity to mark a creature that you can see within 60 feet as part of the same action. The marked creature sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet for 10 minutes. For the duration, whenever you restore hit points to a creature other than the marked target, or deal radiant damage to a creature other than the marked target using a spell of first level or higher or a class feature, the marked target either regains hit points equal to half the amount restored / damage dealt, or takes radiant damage equal to half the amount restored / damage dealt, your choice. If multiple creatures are affected, this effect uses only one creature's result, your choice. If a weapon attack includes multiple sources of radiant damage, when you cast a first level spell or higher, use the total radiant damage dealt to calculate this effect. For the duration, you can use a bonus action to mark a new creature, ending this effect on the previous one. So, to summarize this, when you heal a creature or deal radiant damage, you can mark a creature. It doesn't have to be that creature, it just has to be a creature within 60 feet. Then, if you heal a different creature, that creature you marked either takes half of that healing in radiant damage or half that healing in healing. If you deal radiant damage to a different target, they take half of that radiant damage in healing, or they take half of that radiant damage in radiant damage. So you can use this to mark allies or enemies, and when you're healing or dealing radiant damage, whatever one you do, you're able to pick which one you do to the marked target. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's basically what it does. It's actually very simple. It's just very hard to write, but I feel like I did it. And then if multiple creatures are affected, this effect only uses only one creature's result. That means, like, if a bunch of creatures take radiant damage from Spirit Guardians, the marked target only takes half of the damage from one creature, if that makes sense. So it's not like you can it's not like you can have Beacon of Light on your ally. 5 creatures take 11 radiant damage and they get like a bunch of healing. They would get like 5 healing, you know what I mean? So yeah, and that's the main basis of this class. Then we got the rest of it. We got level 7 Aura of Radiance. This one I buffed since the playtest, and a lot of people someone suggested a buff to this, but I went kind of in the middle. So your radiant Level 7 Aura of Radiance. Your radiant presence enhances your magic and pierces darkness. Radiant Well. When you cast a first level paladin spell, roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, the spell slot is not expended. This effect also works with second level paladin spells at level 10 and third level paladin spells at level 15. So a nice little way to refresh your spell slots, have a chance to. It makes it so this paladin is willing to risk spell slot use more than the average paladin. And since you're going to be healing people with Healing Word, you're going to be maybe casting Guiding Bolt from a distance every once in a while, you know, you'll feel less worried about your spell slots, which I feel like is important for a healing focused paladin. Then we got Piercing Light. You and your allies can see normally in dim light and darkness, both magical and non-magical, within 60 feet while in your aura protection. Basically, anyone in your aura protection that's an ally, you get 60 feet of Devil's Sight, which is really cool. Level 15, you get Boundless Light. Your healing light overcomes what is typical when you cast a spell of first level. Radiant Ward, when you cast a spell of first level or higher, or use a subclass feature that restores hit points, the target gains separate hit points equal to your charisma modifier. So yeah, you get a little 5 temp HP on the targets you heal. That's nice. Then we got Holy Reach. Lay on Hands can now target creatures within 60 feet. So you got a little Lay on Hands can go 60 feet now. And Lay on Hands now is a bonus action with the new Paladin. Ooh. Nice subclass in my opinion. It's almost like you created it for fun instead of mass producing things for money. Funny. Yeah, it's like I am selling this, but it's also because I just wanted to make it too. You know? I'm gonna play this in a campaign too soon, which is nice. Also, like, I don't make much money. I'm gonna sell this for $2. So, and I'm showing you guys it for free, so yeah. It's more just so that I can do YouTube and maybe make money from it eventually. You know? Anyway. This one I thought about changing, but I think it's fine enough. So, Shining Paragon. Holy Radiant shields allies and blinds the wicked. Light's duality perfected. So Holy Presence as a magic action, you can cast Holy Aura without requiring concentration, without expending a spell slot, without preparing the spell, without material components. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish Long Rest. Basically, you can cast Holy Aura, which is an 8th level spell. What Holy Aura does is it gives everyone within a 30-foot radius advantage on all saving throws. It makes it so that any creatures that attack them have disadvantage on their attacks. And then if a fiend or undead attacks you, they make a saving throw. Attacks you or anyone in the aura. They make a saving throw, and if they fail, they get the blinded condition until the end of your next turn. Very thematic and also different from the Oath of Devotion. I was trying to make sure it wasn't too Oath of Devotion similar. But then you also get Duality of Light. While your Beacon of Light is active, you are treated as a marked creature in addition to the target of the creature. Any effect triggered by healing or radiant damage applies to you and the marked creature separately. So you're doing a bunch of radiant damage, you're doing a bunch of healing, and every time you do that, you get healed. Super fun. So this is a very durable, level 20, this is a very durable paladin. And then credits, the artist, I got the SRD. This is the only link the artist sent me, this guy, Teddy R. He wanted his name on here to be Kiss though. He does amazing work. He's an artist in Madagascar, highly recommend him. The link is in the PDF. I'll also put it in the... I'm going to make a whole video going over this subclass and a whole paladin themed video. I'm going to record that this weekend. But yeah, isn't that art so fucking cool? Oh my gosh. He did such a good job. Look at that shit. Oh my god. So yeah. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I had a ton of fun streaming. This ended up being a 4-hour stream, which is crazy. I didn't expect that to happen. Yeah. I'm probably going to record a YouTube video, and I also might play some Elden Ring Night Rain. Hot swapping between 2 streams right now because I found a really small unmonetized streamer, and it is my goal to give him $5. That's awesome. That's what's up. Oh man. But that all being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Look out for the release of the Oath of Radiance Paladin, and look out for my next YouTube video where I go over it again. But mostly I'm going to be just talking about what I think about Paladins with the new 2024 rules. Yeah, thank you so much, Derp Lord Memeing Star. I appreciate you being in the stream, and I do streams at least once a month, usually when UAs release. I might do a random gaming stream here and there. Sometimes I stream Baldur's Gate 3. Lately it's been Elden Ring Night Rain. But thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.